Hello, everybody, and welcome to Distorted Entertainment. My name is Ethan Carpenter. I just want to apologize for the fact that this episode is going up late. I had surgery last Monday, and I just found it very difficult to get to my desk. Hopefully everything's good, and it's going to be a lot better come next episode, because I got my room rearranged, and I can actually sit down at my desk and get to work. If you like what you hear, please rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, and share us around. We appreciate it greatly. And now let's get into this podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Corey Taylor podcast. My name is Corey Taylor, and I am joined by Corey Taylor. Corey Taylor, how is your day going?
Oh, it's going well, Corey Taylor. Can't complain. I'm loving my career, and man, you just can't stop this.
You just can't stop. Speaking of you can't stop, Corey Taylor just dropped a new album. Actually, yeah, hello everybody, Ethan Carpenter here, joined by Mitchell Wade. Figured we might as well get this. We don't want to be a Corey Taylor podcast. No, Corey actually dropped his singles record. I have not listened to all of it, but I've heard it's actually decent. I'm getting surgery tomorrow, so perhaps I will listen to it, and at the top of the next episode, I'll give my thoughts on it. But there's a new metal themed reviewer I found on YouTube. Let me pull up his name real quick. I think it's Metal Archive Review.
Why does that actually sound familiar? You said he was new?
New-ish.
Okay. That sounds familiar, but
dang it.
I could just be thinking of Mellum Archive or whatever.
Hold on, I think I got to go into my history. Yeah, because I was looking, I was specifically looking for reviews of the new 6 Feet Under album, and he popped up.
Which maybe one's 6 Feet Under?
It's Chris. I had you listen to one of the songs last episode.
That's right, the really horrible
yes.
song. Yeah,
big bad. The Metal Meltdown is his name on YouTube.
Okay, yeah, I don't know that.
I first found him when he reviewed S&M 2, Metallica's recent record. And it was interesting because it wasn't just him complaining, how it kind of usually is when it comes to metalhead reviews, especially when it comes to Metallica. But he reviewed Nightmares of the Decomposed by 6 Feet Under, and CMFT is actually just what the album is called. And he gave it a pretty decent review. He said it was stupid, but it was like an enjoyable stupid. Like, so the song he specified that Corey just sounds like he's having fun, which is not something that's common in Corey's music. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. I'll probably listen to it at some point. Well, let's get on to some news. Off the top, obviously, rest in peace to Eddie Van Halen. He died a couple days ago at this point. Keep in mind, we record a little bit like a week or so before these episodes drop. Like, it's the 11th right now. So Eddie Van Halen, rest in peace. A lot of people are just posting EVH or Van Halen's music all the time now. I did see a funny meme though that says, "Hey, I need you to close your DAW file on that EVH metalcore cover. Do not save it, because it's probably coming."
Yeah.
My first introduction to Van Halen was actually the class I took in college, the history of rock and roll.
Really?
Yeah, it's because I was never really raised with rock music. So I kind of just went from country into metal. I didn't really have the AC/DCs, the Van Halens, the Led Zeppelins, or anything like that. I think I just named 3 completely different era bands, but that's fine. No, those are all 70s, except for Zeppelin. Was it? I'm getting
Zeppelin
my history messed up.
70s.
60s, 70s. Anyway,
I'm pretty sure.
But so with the class, I learned I really like the song "Hot for Teacher" because, of course.
Yeah.
But it's a good track, and then Todd in the Shadows. Yeah, he's you might like Todd in the Shadows. He's he reviews pop music typically, but it's kind of like that riff review style. But he also does a show called Train Records, And on one of those, he talked about Van Halen 3, and it was actually a very entertaining episode. And I kind of learned a little bit about the history of Van Halen, including that they did another album with the original guy. What's his name? The original singer. It wasn't Hagar. Oh no.
Oh
no.
yeah, I'm blanking.
I'm drawing original Van Halen members. David Lee Roth, it was his name.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah, they did another album with him, and I didn't.
By
know
the
that.
way, Zeppelin '69 was the first album, so they're a '70s band.
All right, yeah, that I can feel that, and so was Van Halen was '70s too, I believe, weren't they? They formed in '72. Yeah, so never mind. But yeah, so rest in peace to Eddie Van Halen. And I thought I saw somebody else died, like the drummer from Cream.
Oh God, I hope not.
Hold on, drummer Cream. I believe Ginger Baker. Yeah, no, but this was last year. He died last year.
Okay.
It just kind of recirculated. And then I heard that a Red Hot Chili Peppers member died. Member dead. I don't know if this was recent. Jack Sherman, the guitarist of the debut album, died at 64. Okay, so but this was a couple months ago, so it wasn't new. So
still rest in peace to all those people.
Yeah, obviously. Like I'm not saying, oh, whatever, it was a while ago, screw them. But yeah, rest in peace to all them, and obviously their loved ones, their fans, etc., etc. Let's see. I got a couple new things. I might as well. I should have just talked about these while we were doing the Corey Taylor bit, but
there's too late.
That's too late. Can't do it now. There is a online wrestling game on Corey Taylor's website that features it's like an NES style Flash game, and it's really, really bad. I tried playing it while I was waiting for you to get on Discord, and I didn't get hit once. I did like 4 matches, and I literally just mashed the A and S buttons or the Z and X buttons or whatever. And yeah, it's not a well-designed game. Corey, find some better people, dude. I also don't think there was any sound.
That's the mark of a good game.
Yeah, absolutely no sound, and it features characters as Billy Black Eyes Blue, Culture Head, and Howie 666, which are all just puns based off his new album. That was that, and then
I hate this.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. And then I pulled something up, Corey Taylor talking about Metallica, because I had to pull that up.
You didn't.
I did. Basically, and there is a reason I had to pull it up, because the topic of Saint Anger came up. And no, Corey was talking about because they brought up the album, and he's like, the mix on the actual record isn't that great, but there was a companionship DVD that came out with the album. I forget if it had its own name, but it was basically them playing the entire record live in their studio garage thing, and it actually sounds way better. Like, I know a lot of people who had taken the sound off that DVD, and like that's the version of Saint Anger they listen to, because the snare is normal, and they're all really good performances, but he just kind of shouted that out, and I agreed with it, so I figured why not discuss that. And then
any other Corey Taylor related news for our Corey Taylor podcast?
I'm good I'm done with Corey Taylor for the time.
All right, guys, it's been a wonderful night. That's all the Corey Taylor we got today.
Episode over, and we'll be playing. Yeah. Okay, here's one for you. Meshuggah plan to release an album in 2021.
Cool. There's something I actually look forward to in my horrible life. Awesome.
I am quite I'm looking forward to it, even though I honestly was underwhelmed by The Violent Sleep of Reason.
Still love that album.
It's not that I dislike it. I think the tones on that record, the guitar, the bass, and everything sound amazing. It's like the best sounding Meshuggah album, but the the songs, in my opinion, just kind of either drag on or they don't really latch on to me. There are a couple tracks, like the title track. I really love the slide guitar in the beginning, or the fretless guitar, I believe. The boom, 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 boom. I really like that. And Clockworks was a good intro track.
Clockworks is so good.
It is good, but I kind of hope they have a bit more of an original take on the new record, or at least something that feels a little less stale, because I think that was my issue with Violent Sleeper Reason. Coming off of Koloss, with Koloss being such a great record, I was just kind of indifferent about it. It would be cool if they came out with like another Catch 33 or something that kind of blends into one another, but I'm also just I like stuff like that.
Are you sure you're not the snob of this group?
I mean, we're both snobs. Don't try to do that, but we're snobs in different ways. The drumming titan also spoke about the challenges of Meshuggah working together during isolation. Quote, "By now, internet is so fast, even huge files like gigabyte files, you can just send them back and forth. It's not really a big problem, but it's still a fifth or a tenth of the pace that you normally do when you're working together. So I guess it's taking a little bit longer since they can't get together to do stuff due to COVID. Sure. Which reminds me of something that you sent me. I guess Maynard James Keenan of Tool is he apparently caught COVID earlier this year, and he's still having issues with it. Apparently he has like some lung damage, which as much as I don't really like Tool, I mean, that's very unfortunate, and I wish Maynard all the best and healing and things like that.
But not only Maynard, but the lead singer of Sluggage.
Yeah, so that
also having the issues.
So obviously, guys, please stay safe. Wear the mask. It's, help prevent the spread of all that stuff. But
for the love of God, I mean, I have a background in all this stuff. Granted, it's not my career path, but it was at one point, and can't tell you how frustrating it is to watch a whole bunch of people not listen to medical professionals that have been doing this
people
most of
who
their
know
life.
what they're talking about. Yeah. So
I'm like sitting here, because I studied virology and epidemiology through middle school, high school, and even college, and I still do, even though my career is slightly different. And man, Jesus, just how people talk about it and how much they don't know is just, it is horrifying.
Yeah, it's not. It's very frustrating. So
it was so frustrating.
But yeah, so please stay safe, guys. I don't want to hear somebody, have permanent vocal damage or lung damage because they decided not to just wear the piece of cloth. It's not that big of a deal. So,
shit, I work at FedEx pushing several ton things. And I still wear the piece of cloth on my face while doing it.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I didn't even think about having to wear a mask while working at FedEx. At least it's starting to cool off a little bit.
Oh no, don't worry. No one does. I'm the only one.
Fair enough. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, no, they were like, "Hey, mask mandate. Y'all got to wear masks one day." No, never again. No one else did it.
It sounds like the earplug mandate that they did last year.
Yep.
Complaining about jobs I don't work at anymore. Also, AC/DC dropped a new song that I actually did listen to, and it was AC/DC.
Yeah. Yeah.
It sounds exactly like AC/DC always sounds, except with slightly updated production. So it's kind of cool because go ahead.
I'm not a huge AC/DC fan. I can't really stand them. You know how everyone's like, "Wow, you've heard one Disturbed song, you've heard them all." That's AC/DC to me.
It's exactly AC/DC. They're a band that, like, it's more, if it comes on when I'm out and about, I'm not going to complain, but I'm very rarely ever decide to turn on AC/DC.
Right.
Like if I hear Highway to Hell when I'm out and about, I'm like, oh, cool, AC/DC's on. But, otherwise, not a thing. I did listen to a little bit today just because I checked out the new song. And I also went and listened to like Back in Black and Highway to Hell. But AC/DC, not really my shtick. But it is cool because apparently, I mean, I thought Brian Johnson had to stop because I thought he went deaf.
Well, there's been a whole bunch of problems with that band, hasn't there, recently? Like the past couple of years?
Malcolm Young died, I believe.
I don't
Angus
think he
Young
died. I think there was like just really bad medical issues.
I'm fairly certain one of the Youngs died. AC/DC member dead. Yeah, Malcolm Young died
a
couple years ago after battling with dementia for several years.
So I just forgot the he died part. Oops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
rest in peace.
Yes, yes. But then, like I said, I thought Brian Johnson had to stop. He at least had to stop doing shows because the guy from Guns N' Roses replaced him for a little while.
That's right. No, he had inner ear issues that was giving him vertigo and shit.
Vertigo's nasty, dude.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Yeah, I thought he was just going deaf. That's what I remember reading, but
well, I'm going to look it up and prove myself wrong.
Here we go. Yeah, I was just going through Loudwire. Brian Johnson explains how he overcame crippling hearing loss for AC/DC Return.
Man. I guess I don't know. There's some like famous musician that has inner ear issues, and like there are many a times they had to like take huge long breaks because of vertigo and shit.
Well, I remember one of the original members of Meshuggah had to stop because of that. I think the original bassist has really bad vertigo. You're not thinking of the original drummer from Sabbath, are you?
No.
Okay, because I know that he doesn't play with them. I guess that's more of they have inner fighting or something.
Yeah. No, I think you're right about the Meshuggah thing.
Let's see, what was it was pretty serious. I couldn't hear. This is Brian Johnson. It was pretty serious. I couldn't hear the tone of the guitars. It was a horrible kind of deafness. I was literally getting on by muscle memory and mouth shapes. He adds, quote, I was starting to really feel bad about the performances in front of the boys, in front of the audience. It was crippling. There was nothing worse than standing there and not being sure. The doc said, deaf is deaf, son. Cliff Williams and Angus Young didn't want to be responsible for me damaging my ears any further. At least it wasn't terminal, yada, 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 yada. See if there's any remedy. He said the first time he went to the doctor, they brought down something that looked like a car battery. He says, we're going to miniaturize it. So maybe he had some sort of singing, like hearing therapy. But, very interesting. I was going to say something, and I forgot what I was going to say, and I hate when that happens. But yeah, so cool. Brian Johnson came back. Good for him. And I think I have one more thing, but it's another one of these list type things that we decided we want to do that post review instead of elongating the front half of everything. So let me just take a quick look around here, see if there's any other articles I can see that need to be said, and then I can just cut out this part.
Right, of course. I'm trying to think if there's anything. Music news. No, not really. Nothing for music.
Metallica Ride the Lightning test pressing sells for $5,000.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's like a rough press of Ride the Lightning, I believe. Interesting, I guess. Tom DeLonge makes directorial debut with a sci-fi film.
I don't even know who Tom DeLonge is.
Blink-182.
That's why I don't know. Kind
of insane. He runs To the Stars Academy, and he leaked those UFO videos not too long ago, and he's really big into aliens and stuff like that. I believe To the Stars has a contract with the government now, testing weird stuff that he shouldn't have but apparently does.
Okay.
Very interesting stuff. Yeah, if you like aliens, Tom DeLonge is a very interesting fellow. I learned a little bit because of Chilluminati podcast, of course.
Of course.
Yes, they like talking about Tom DeLonge. Scott Ian, Anthrax won't release a new album until touring returns. 10 rock and metal artists wrongly labeled as satanic.
Judas Priest.
Judas. Oh, that's disgusting.
What?
No, not that. New Lemmy Kilmister facial masks are available. It's just a picture of Lemmy's mouth. I don't like it.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
I don't like it. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think I'm good. Do we want to go ahead and get to the meat of things?
Man, what is with you and meat and potatoes, man?
Did I say that again?
No, but you came close with let's get into the meat of things.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I gotta have my catchphrase. But I do have to pee real quick. I will be right back.
Oh my god, how
I'm sorry.
unprofessional.
My dude, I peed before I came in here, and then I had to wait an hour, and I drank a Red Bull and a Diet Pepsi, so I'll be right back. Bite me.
Okay.
Don't leave anything snarky while you're recording either. I can't hear you, by the way.
Can't leave anything snarky. Me. There's your snark.
Also, guys, until we fix the issues with Buzzsprout turning all of our stuff mono, I'm just going to give you guys a song to listen to up on the top, and then once we get everything fixed, I will replace the files with the songs at the end. So for now, you guys should really go check out the band Indomitable. They are it's weird just calling them a death metal band, but because they have a lot of different stuff kind of going on with them. But they are a death metal band from Indianapolis, and they just released a song the other day for their new album coming out on the 30th of this month called Phalanges Like Wilted Trees, and you guys should go check that out. I'll put a link in the show notes. There's a really cool lyric video along with it as well, so you can understand everything that's going on. And I may or may not have a guest spot in that song as well. So that,
yep. It's just shameless plug.
Shameless plug. But no, Isaiah is really, really cool. He's one of my favorite vocalists in the scene right now. He's also a good friend of mine. And go check out Indomitable. And with that said, let's not wait any longer. Mitchell, what album did you listen to for this episode?
Yeah, so let's get into the meat and potatoes.
Shut up. Look, I know I say that a lot. It's not my fault.
Oh, I kind of want to hear this story before we go on how it's not your fault.
I kind of talk faster than I think sometimes, and
That's
it's
too
just
many.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like the default shape my mouth makes. I am not cognizant of everything I say all the time.
So instead of saying like and all of that, you're meat and potatoes. Got it.
But I also say and a lot too. I need to start editing some of those out.
You haven't been editing I mean, I listen
Not
to
all
all of
of
our
them.
podcasts all the way through.
I edit.
Yeah.
If there's like a long pause and there's an at the beginning or end of the long pause, I'll delete I'll get rid of that, but I don't go and meticulously edit each one out.
Gotcha.
But I also
All right,
re-listen to our podcast at like 1.5 or 2 times speed because surprisingly, we both talk fairly concisely. So I can still understand what we both say at that kind of speeds, which is not the same as a lot of people.
Well, look at us. Just a couple of concise
speakers,
individuals. Great. Yes, you gave me the mightiest of albums from the nether reaches of space itself. Gloryhammer, their album Space 1992, which is the second album in their 3-part saga so far?
Yes, they released a new album last year. And it's yes.
Yeah, if you don't know these guys, they are power metal, but with a twist. Instead of, middle earthy power metal, it's in space.
Also, just to correct you, Metallum labels them as symphonic power metal, which I don't know if that is a necessary adjective for power metal. I feel like most
bite my fucking ass.
I consider most power metal to probably be a little symphonic.
A little symphonic, yeah. I like even Dragon Force has some symphonic-y parts, don't they?
I don't know. I've never really listened to much Dragon Force.
But to me, like the iconic power metal band is Blind Guardian. Like, I don't know.
I've never listened to them.
They're good. I like them, but I mean, I'll get into this album. So, yeah.
Did you name the record?
I did. I said Space 1992. And
Rise of the Chaos Wizards.
Oh, I'm sorry. When I typed up my notes, I forgot to put the colon Rise of the Chaos Wizards. My bad.
It's fine. It's fine. I was just letting you know.
No. I mean, correct me as I go. It's fine. It's cool. I don't care. I'm not hurt.
You're probably going to be correcting me a lot later. So.
Oh no. Oh no. I don't like that. I don't like that. That's not foreshadowing. Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing showdown.
I love that show. It's a great show.
I hated that show when I was younger, but
like, Shaolin Showdown. I don't even remember what it was. Was that the one where it was like 3 teen young people animated?
That's a lot of shows, dude. That's like Ben 10, Avatar.
Okay, but you're naming good ones so far.
That's fair. I think Shaolin. Now I got to look it up. Shaolin.
I'm pretty sure
Showdown.
like one of the characters was like a little bald monk dude that was like kind of yellowish. Yeah.
Yes, that exactly. It was in 2003, and it was on the
that show was
Kids
bad.
WB. It is definitely bad, but I do remember seeing a like a meme, like a clip from the show where Omi says something. Shaolin Showdown meme.
Folks, aren't you loving this review of Space 1992 Rise of the Chaos Wizards?
There's nothing wrong with what's
interjection
it called?
For shallow
interjection.
Shaolin.
Yeah, Shaolin. Yes, it's Omi, the bald kid. I just realized that like they made the Asian yellow.
Yeah.
Anyway, he says, he who is last to laughing laughs most loudly. And then another character replies with, what Omi just did to that sentence, we're going to do to your face. And I thought that was funny. But otherwise, Shaolin Showdown. Yeah, I'm going to start having a weekly Shaolin Showdown quote along with our Corey Taylor bits.
No, please. I don't want to be this. Folks, help me. I'm trapped in his basement. Help. I
have wanted to make that joke before. And for the times that I let him out of my basement to eat, Mitchell Wade. Anyway, Space 1992, Rise of the Chaos
Wizards. Yeah, it's a power metal album, folks. I'm going to preface this. I'm not big into power metal. I like Dungeons and Dragons. I like, the Elder Scrolls. I like me some Dark Souls. Not into power metal. It's really hammy. And that's what power metal's about. Let's be honest here.
Power metal is a very hammy genre.
It's a very hammy genre. And I mean, as Ethan brought up, Winter Horde had some hammy moments. I like me a hammy moment. I don't like my entire album to be ham. That's bad for your heart, guys. Don't eat a lot of ham.
But it's also happy ham. It's very happy ham.
It is very happy ham. It's all about, slaying the beast and conquering and killing the wizard.
Are we still talking like power metal as a whole, or are we in Gloryhammer now?
Oh no, I'm just going on my power metal rant. I haven't
okay, all right, fair enough.
I haven't even gotten to the meat and potatoes of Gloryhammer.
I was about to say I know where you live, but I don't. So
I have moved. And even before I moved, you didn't know where I lived anyways.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. So I'll do that whole thing where I'm like, I can be objective and subjective. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It's a good record, especially if you like power metal. I think it's a solid power metal record. I mean, like I said, I like Blind Guardian. That's pretty much that's the problem. It's like I listen to Blind Guardian and I'm like, awesome, cool, great, awesome, sounds great. And then I listened to another power metal band. I'm like, it's Blind Guardian again, but with a different vocalist. Got it.
Yeah, but Angus McFife is a really good vocalist.
Yeah.
His real name is Thomas Winkler.
I don't care. I can't get over that name. When I heard it, when I heard Angus McFife, I was like, these guys can't be serious. Like, there's no way. This is like the goblin that plays guitar in that one band.
Necrogoblicon.
Yes.
I think the vocalist did a guest spot for another band, and they do feature him as Angus McFife.
Beautiful.
And not Thomas. That song's really funny. It's all about IKEA, I think.
Awesome. So like you get into it and you hear the intro. And the intro literally just being read off like it's a nice 80s space wizard movie. And that just sets the mood right then and there. You're like, oh, I'm in for this. Got it. Cool.
I'll get you, He-Man.
Yeah, no, like seriously, it's 100% like, but you get into like Rise of the Chaos Wizards, and like the instrumentation's really good and heavy, and it's, still power metal, but like not as power metal. And I was just like, oh, cool. Maybe they're going growl. And then they do the very famous power metal vocals.
Yeah.
I fucking hate those vocals.
I typically
damn much.
I typically do. But for some reason I give it a pass in Gloryhammer. I don't know why. I just think they're done so well. And
my favorite is Ex Mortis. I don't know if you know them. They're also nerdy, but they're not power metal. They're like thrash. It's mostly growling, but sometimes the lead singer just all of a sudden Ex Mortis just brings out one of those, and I'm like, all right, I guess we're here now. That's cool. It didn't sound bad. It doesn't sound bad. I just don't like it. Like, and then like the vocals are literally like, like it's got that like swing that power metal does. It's happy. It's happy metal. I didn't come here to be happy. I wanted to be sad.
I wanted to be sad and depressed and stuff. Don't worry. Eventually, I might give you a depressive black metal album.
Yeah, that's not. Is it about Nazis? It's probably about Nazis.
It's
right?
Yeah, you're right. It's never mind. We got to stay away from black metal.
We can't do black metal, folks. But yeah, okay. I do. There is one giant elephant in the room that we have to talk about. Can you explain Hollywood Hutzman to me?
It's about Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That makes perfect sense now. That song, it threw off the entire vibe of the album. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it basically just introduces Conan as a character. I love Hollywood Hutzman. It's the Hollywood Hutzman. Hell to Hoots. Yeah, I enjoy that song quite a bit.
It's very clear that these guys are having a lot of fun doing what they're doing. And more power to them. And for the people that love this record, it's not a bad record. But if you don't like power metal, I don't think this is going to change your mind about power metal. It's well written. It's corny as hell. It's got some good symphonic elements to it, but I mean, it's like keyboard symphonic. It's not, full live symphony as far as I can tell by listening to it. It doesn't sound bad or anything. It's just the way it's written.
It's supportive. It's not like the highlight.
Yeah, it's not Septic Flesh where the metal is the supportive part and the symphony is the main part. But if you like power metal like Demons and Wizards and Blind Guardian, you'll probably like this. It's really it's a good solid story. I still think the Hollywood Hutzman kind of throws off the story, but maybe I just wasn't paying attention enough to it. It's a pretty short record. Oh,
It's
no, I take that
52
back.
minutes.
I'm on Wikipedia and it says 48:15. So,
I'm on Metallum. Who do you think is more?
well, you see, on the physical version, there was a hidden track that made
Really?
it 52 and 42 seconds. So,
There is Dundak's Aeterna.
yes.
Yeah, that wasn't on the Spotify version. Yeah, interesting. I didn't know that.
So, it's 48 minutes and 15 seconds, folks.
Fine.
And yeah, it's definitely, if you want to be D&D but kind of in space, I should have said that the appropriate way. Space. Fucking
Space. I'm
fucking
going
love
to the
that
one.
clip.
I'm going to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space.
Space.
Tim Curry. Is Tim Curry still alive?
Yes, he is.
Mm.
Did you know? Hey, did you
ahead.
ever watch that show Over the Garden Wall?
No.
Okay, I recommend it. It's pretty good animation. It's short. It's only 8 episodes, and I think the episodes are only 15 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
But Tim Curry is in it, and Tim Curry plays an old witch hag.
Okay.
It's only one. It's
Yeah.
only one episode, but when my
All right.
roommate told me that, I was like, "Excuse me," and I looked it up, and it's like Tim Curry, and I'm like, "All right, Tim Curry, you go, man. You go
Interesting.
conquer and command."
Yeah. So I mean, going back
Reference.
to something you said, where if somebody isn't like huge into power metal, you're not sure if at least this album, but perhaps Gloryhammer as a whole probably won't.
Yeah, I mean, I can only, and I have to preface that I can only speak on this album. I didn't go and listen to the first or third album.
Mm-hmm. See,
Just this.
when I first listened to Gloryhammer, I looked at the song it's from the newest record called Hoots Force was the first song that I listened to, and it really hooked me in. But also, like, I think I was introduced to this shortly after I was kicked out of my band. So I was I think just the really cheesy, over the top performances just kind of had a nice positivity, instead of, normal angry death metal. So maybe that's kind of why I like it a little bit more. But
Sure.
it's I actually really do really dig Gloryhammer. Perhaps you would like the newest record a little bit better. The production is a little bit cleaner. But
The production didn't bother me at all on this one, honestly.
right. But
So.
yeah, you never know. Perhaps in the future I will give you another Gloryhammer record, but not for a little while. But I don't know. I enjoy it. So what
Yeah, again,
what would you rate the record?
I would give it a solid 7 out of 10. Again, it's just not my sound. Like, I can tell it's a good record. It's fun. It's a power metal record. But power metal just does not do it for me. I've tried it. I've really tried, folks. I can't. I've tried.
We'll get you in there at some point. You never know.
No. But I do want to recommend another band that's kind of more my shtick, and it's like power metal-y, but it's not. It's like symphonic death metal, power metal-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Brimir, spelled Brymir. Probably pronouncing it wrong. Brimmer,
Okay.
whatever you want to call it. They do have growling, but it's still got that epic conquesty power metal feel that just makes you want to grab the nearest sword and go slay some shit. Or I guess in the terms of Gloryhammer, your atomic laser hammer of doom.
I guess
Even
the
though that's-
vocalist was also in a couple of other bands that I might have to check out.
Such as,
have you ever heard of the band Emerald?
sounds familiar, but that's also just a gemstone, so who knows?
Apparently they've been a band since 95 and they're just labeled as heavy metal. He was on 2 records And then he was also in a band called Bark of Dante.
No, I don't know that one.
Also active, but he is no longer the vocalist. He was in there for one record, but it is also power metal. So, oh, he apparently also tried out to be in Dragon Force after the original vocalist left.
Ah, now that would have been interesting.
I think I would probably like him more. I would like them more if they were in there.
There's like one Dragon Force album I do really like, and it's not the one with Fire and Flames on it.
Oh, Heresy.
Surprisingly. I know. It's Sonic Firestorm. There's a song on there called Soldiers of the Wastelands. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I like it because it's a good song or because I have a good memory of it. But my friend Doug, who is extremely good at guitar, we were just hanging out in my room. We were like 17.
Right.
And he jacks my mandolin from me and starts just like he was like, put Soldiers of the Wastelands on. I'm like, okay. And he learns the vocal part on mandolin in like 2 seconds. And it sounded really good. And it's just a good intro because it just starts out with vocals, and then like the vocals cut out and the guitar comes in, and it's a good solid intro. It's good. It's real good.
Interesting.
But yeah. So lesson for Ethan. Mitch doesn't like power metal. But I won't shit on power metal unless it's an actual shitty record.
What's your opinion on Sabaton?
Kind of the same. I dig the World War I, World War II history perspective. But it's kind of the same. Like, if it came on, I'd be like, yeah, that's a good song. Don't really like it, but it's not bad.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
I like him, but it's the same thing.
My friend Gage, I was showing some music to the other day, and he had a theory, and I don't know if. Oh wait, no, these guys aren't German; they're Swedish.
Oh, Sabaton? Yeah, they're Swedish.
I thought they were German because I told because we listened to. I was showing him some power metal, and then I was showing the topic of Rammstein came up, and he's like, I don't. Yeah, I mean, we know I'm not a big fan, but he's like, it's always weird. There's this weird thing about like German bands where he thinks every time he's heard a German band, it has like this air of look how powerful I am or something like that. I'm not sure what he meant, but I guess it debunks it, considering I showed him the song Shoriyama by Sabaton, and they are Swedish, so I'm going to have to let him know that.
I really think that no, because Rammstein isn't power metal, they're industrial. There are a couple of German bands that I listen to that I don't get that vibe from. The Ocean Collective is the one that's coming to my mind right now.
I did not realize they were German.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are. Let me quickly verify. This is when I should have my metal list pulled up, because that has all the correct answers on it. The Ocean Collective. That was good vocals, Mitch. That was real good vocals. Yes, German progressive metal.
Okay.
There's like another band I listened to that I was like, they're German? Huh. But I can't remember who that is. And I'm not going to get into it and waste more of our time.
All right.
Wrap up. Good album. Not my stick. I think I've said this like 5 times now.
Eventually, I'm going to find something that you liked Aesop. So
I really liked Aesop. And I mean, the other things you gave me, I was like, these are interesting. I'm not going to sit down and listen to it, but these are interesting.
See, this is episode 4, and it took me a minute to remember everything I gave you.
Yeah, I honestly can't remember everything you've given me. What was the first one?
System.
Ah, that's right. Yeah, of course. Why is that the one that slipped my mind?
I don't know. It's I think it's been like your least favorite so far.
I mean, I still liked it, but yeah, you're right. I guess so. But also, I think it was the fact that like I kind of, because we talked about doing that episode for so long,
True.
I think of it as like far, far in the distant past when it was like a month ago.
And I feel that might be like, I feel like we have way more episodes than we actually do.
Yeah, I
Like-
get that feeling too.
It's like, yeah, we've been doing this for a year. Oh no, we've been doing it for a month. Which I can't tell if that's a good thing or not. But
I mean,
anyway,
not bad. Anyways, I gave you a record that I really love, and you better fucking love it. Fucking love it.
Anyway, yeah. So Mitch gave me a prog band to my initial dismay. It's a band called Native Construct. They are no longer a thing at this time while they're on indefinite hiatus.
Yeah, so I kind of want to talk about that before you like get into it.
Mhm.
Because I looked into it because I was like, oh yeah, weren't they working on a second record? So the reason they went on hiatus, and I might just be rudely interrupting you, and oh well. I get a little voice time because I'm respectful, unlike you. Anyways, I feel like an ass now. Yeah, I just feel bad now. The reason that they're on indefinite hiatus was like two things. One, and I read this in Miles' tweet. I follow Miles a little bit. He's one of the guitar players. I was actually going to take music theory lessons from him. Until I found out I was poor.
Yeah, I've had that issue with vocal lessons.
I mean, his lessons were reasonably priced. I thought they were like $40 an hour session.
That's not bad.
But I was like, I have bills.
Yeah,
Oof.
I looked into taking vocal lessons from the guy from Cardavox Vocal Academy, and his was like $75. I'm like,
oh yeah,
all right,
no, I ain't doing that.
Can't do that.
40, 50, even like maybe 60. That was what I was paying for private violin lessons. So, but it was like two things. One, they were like, wow, this album's going to be way different than our first album, and it's not even going to be really all that metal. And like, I guess they were having some like disagreements in the sound. But two, they were no longer in college and realized that they had to get real jobs. And that was,
it's so
which was
crushing.
unfortunate. And apparently, like, they never planned on this like being a big thing, but they realized they couldn't even really have it as a side project with where they were in their current life. So they're saying indefinite hiatus because they're like, it's not like we can't come back sometime in the maybe near or even distant future and finish up the second record. But
I wonder what percentage it's done.
To it. I don't know. I did hear a lot of teasers on their Instagram, though. They did have teasers, but
how long ago were they posted?
I would have to look up. It's been a while since I've even looked. The problem is most of the teasers were from, I believe, Miles, just doing like random guitar parts, and I can't remember if he had like the rest of the parts and he was messing around in Cubase or whatever. But yeah, I'll let you get back to your review. But those
no, do you want to go ahead and like review the record? You
oh my god,
can
I?
No,
it's so so good.
Anyway, yes, progressive metal band Native Construct. I didn't check to see if they were on Metallum, so I have to do that now real quick. Native Construct.
Please,
really?
Metallum, be nice.
Really? They are not.
They? Oh, wow.
Your
actually
website
kind
is
of
toxic. Odd. Yeah. But Native Construct. So like you had a preface that you're not really into power metal.
No.
I am not into prog all that much. I highly respect progressive metal, and I highly respect anybody that can actually like have that tag, and because that usually just means you're probably a good musician.
They did graduate from Berkeley.
They all graduated from Berkeley. Did I enjoy Quiet World by Native Construct?
Yes.
Actually,
yeah.
I did.
Hey!
Now, I will preface that by saying it's not my normal thing, and it's probably not something I would listen to constantly.
That's fair.
But on my re-listen today, I will say my first couple of listens, I was thinking, this is okay. A couple of the songs threw me off. Your Familiar Face is kind of a low point in my opinion.
Fair
and
enough.
Chromatic Aberration was just longer, so it when I'm at work listening, it's harder for me to focus. And that's kind of what I would label this, at least this album, as. I feel like it's kind of like an experience, similar to watching a movie or something like that. I can have it on in the background, but I'm going to get more enjoyment out of it when I'm actually focused on it. And just quite frankly, a lot of the times I can't really focus on what I'm listening to all the time. It's a concept album. It's a very interesting concept because on this last playthrough, I did read along with most of the lyrics, and which is more than I did with any of the other bands. Sluggage, I didn't look at the lyrics. I forget what last week. Letters from the Colony, Winter Horde. I didn't really look at the lyrics,
which is unfortunate because you missed a really good concept album.
Yeah, but I mean, with that, I still understood a lot of it. I understood like what it was doing, for the most part. I just didn't know specifics. With this, I didn't really understand the story at all until I looked at the lyrics. Which I think I think the main issue was that I just had trouble picking out of all of the words all of the time, especially when he gets to the harsh vocals. I think the vocalist is very, very talented. I really like his voice and his singing voice, but I do find his harsh vocals to be a little generic.
That's fair. And I think he might even feel that way because he doesn't do it that often. He's clean vocals most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But he does have a really wide range, as well as normal singing. He can do what, lack of a better term, voices, different styles of singing and different tones and things like that. The vocalist is really good, and I wanted to focus on that a little bit because when you did suggest this record, you did specify that the vocals were something that you wanted me to look into or something that you thought I would enjoy. And yes, the vocalist is very, very good. I also really like the music just in general. I love the mix and production. What I wrote down, the band seems like a hodgepodge of a bunch of different things, but the bands I kind of picked out were Dream Theater, Harvey Danger, and Protest the Hero. That's more for like vocally screaming and singing wise. Excuse me. And a lot of the music ranged from like, this sounds like it belongs in a film score. And then some parts were like, this kind of sounds Disney-ish. And strangely enough, I had like a couple of moments where it reminded me of Pirates of the Caribbean and James Bond, oddly enough.
Wow. That's a range, man. It is
a large range. I did have specifics on. So in Passage, around the 6-minute mark is the part that it kind of reminded me of the James Bond. It's not 1-to-1, but when I was listening to this record, the few times I've gone through it, I was like, I don't know why. This just reminds me of 007. What do I have on here? The band goes back and forth between soft-spoken passages with similar accompaniment into these grand sweeping soundscapes, such as the beginning of passages into the instrumental break in the first couple of minutes. Then I get into another vocal part with this cool phaser effect going on. A lot of my examples come from Passage. I would probably say that's my favorite song of the album.
Fair enough.
Passage is really, really good. But after I looked at the lyrics, like I really enjoy Mute. I really enjoy the Spark of Archon. I'm just not big into Your Familiar Face, and Chromatic Lights was just okay, but that's because it's a instrumental. And instrumentals are kind of tough for me to hate or love, I
mean, good thing it's only like 2 minutes long.
Yeah, and it's not like it's bad. It's really, really good. It's just I'm really indifferent about a lot of instrumentals unless if it's like my favorite instrumental of all time is probably Call of Cthulhu off of Ride the Lightning, because it is just a really good song. but I like Animals as Leaders. I'm not really a big Animals as Leaders fan.
Even I'm not, but I mean, you watch. God, if you watch,
I
Tosin.
Oh no, I respect Tosin. Thump me, daddy, and something that this album's really good at is just different emotions and soundscapes. What did I have here? The
There's
different
also
instruments
like
used as well.
There's a
love
lot of
the
good
sax
like
solo.
text pacing. Oh yeah. The sax is great.
I love the saxophone and the symphonic elements in Passage. Like I said, a lot of my examples come from that track, but it's probably my favorite track. Going into Your Familiar Face, it's just so for those of you who don't know, the concept is this is off the top of my head, but I'm sure you'll be able to fill in the blanks if I have any. The concept is this gentleman who is mute. Prior to where the album story starts, he had feelings for this girl. The girl basically shut him down, and then he decides to kind of get away from the pain. He's going to create a world in his own head. And in that, he kind of becomes a god in this world. He creates subjects, and at the end of Mute, he starts becoming what is known as the Sinister Silence. And into the next track, The Spark of Archon, kind of the hero of the day, rises up, and it kind of continues from there. And Your Familiar Face takes place prior to all of it, basically him talking to the woman who shut him down. And that's just kind of the weak point of the album. So like lyrics like "You should be making symphonies of love with me." I'm like, that's so cheesy.
And it is. And
I understand it's supposed to be, so it's not like I can be too mad at it, but also it's just not my favorite instrumentally, lyrically, vocally. I feel like that's really just the low point of the record, but still, the low point is still like a 6, which is not that bad. I really like the heavy dissonance at about 3:45 in Come Hell or High Water.
It's so good.
Oh yeah, and it has. I love chorus on guitar. The effect of chorus, it's just really really nice. I also love the dumber voice he uses at about 4:30. And then I think the last like specific thing on the like track parts, I don't like the vocal delivery at the beginning of Chromatic Aberration. I specifically point out the vocals were not delivered that well in the very chuggy part near 1:45. I just think there are points here and there throughout the album that I couldn't make out what he was really saying, whether it be due to the performance or the delivery of said words, even while reading along. I just feel that they could have been delivered a bit more concisely so that they could be understood a little bit better, but that also could be purposeful, because there is a part, I forget which song, it might be Chromatic Aberration, where lyrically he's speaking as the Sinister Silence, which is the mute gentleman, basically saying I'm going insane or psychotic or something like that, but the lyrics don't really match what's saying, so I feel like that is an artistic choice. Yeah, that's also interesting scat style delivery while conveying lyrics. Very weird. And then continue with Chromatic Aberration. Some of the symphonic sections sound like it could easily be in a JRPG. For some reason, I was just getting heavy Final Fantasy vibes in the last song. And then there's an interesting like doo-wop background vocal, which I was not expecting on my first listen.
Yeah.
Okay, so another example of the vocals just not like being delivered, at least to my liking. It, like I said, it could be intentional. The second to last verse in Aberration that's screamed before the just repeated couple of last lines when Archon and the Sinister Silence go to fight each other, and then it kind of cuts off. I actually really did enjoy this record. And you know, that's something because I'm not really big into prog. Like I said, I don't really think I could sit down and listen to this all the time, but I could definitely see myself throwing Mute onto a playlist or passage onto a playlist. There's a vocal line early in the beginning of Mute that just keeps getting stuck in my head. It's like, my own quiet world. It keeps, that part is stuck into my head. I like it a lot. So yeah, Quiet World by Native Construct. I actually really do enjoy it. I'd probably give it like an 8.5 out of 10.
Ooh. Is that our highest score?
I think it might be. It's very good. And even if I was being objective, like 100% purely objective about everything, it'd still be like an 8.5 or a 9. So even my subjective enjoyment of the record isn't dampened that much. It's definitely my favorite pure prog album I've heard. Oh, I also forgot the occasional like actual death metal elements or black metal elements in terms of like drumming and things like that. Really cool interlaced throughout everything, but it is by no means a death metal heavy record. It's very, very all over the place and in a good way. So yeah, it has a little bit of everything.
I kind of chose this record purely because you were like, Devin Townsend slaps. And I was like, oh, he said that. That means he likes modern prog. Got it. Boom. Okay. And so I'm thinking, because I don't like 80s prog metal either. I have respect for it. Like Dream Theater, all fantastic musicians. I hate him. I hate the music. Like John Petrucci, fantastic guitar player, bass player, great. Both of the drummers that have been in it, fantastic drummers, very talented. I've looked at their kits and they are stupidly overwhelming. Keyboardist, awesome. Dude is great. But I'll throw on a Dream Theater record, and so far I've only liked one Dream Theater record, and I'm pretty sure it's blasphemous for me to like it, because it was the first record that came out after Mike Portnoy left. But I don't dig that 80s sound. I've never dug the 80s sound that Dream Theater produces and a lot of prog metal bands produce. But more modern bands I've been digging, even though Devin Townsend's got, a lot of history.
Yeah, definitely agreed. And I agree, especially with early prog music in general. Like, I'm not big into Rush. I've never really listened to Yes or is Genesis considered prog?
Yes.
I've never really listened to Genesis all that much. And maybe you're right. Maybe it's just I can't get into the old stuff. I don't know if I would compare Native Construct to Devin Townsend per se.
No. But they do have that like, let's go
ultra
all
polished.
Out. Yeah, and like be very different and experimental and just use this wide range of instruments. I mean, you heard Genesis by Devin Townsend.
I love that song.
Jesus,
I love that song.
Is that a range of music? I mean, it starts out with a fucking like steel drum.
Yeah, I kind of want to cover that song, but it's so dense that I don't think I'd be able to.
Also, isn't it like 17 minutes long?
Genesis? No, it's only like 5.
Is it? Okay. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. One song that I really liked off of that record before we go back to Native Construct. I assume you know who Samus is, right? The drummer.
Like Samus 66?
Yes.
Yes, I know of him.
Oh, well, he was on that Devin Townsend record.
Yeah, I remember the notes from Nail the Mix said that there were 3 different drummers on that song.
Yeah, so I kind of like watched Devin do like a whole bunch of like not podcasts, but like vlogs and stuff of like doing this record. And apparently he wanted 3 different types of drummers to get 3 different types of sounds. So Samus is there for the pure black death metal, let's go all out fast. And
right.
There is a song that Samus is like purely on. And I gotta find it. Yeah, it's Hear Me.
Okay.
And there's a guy that I'll occasionally check out on YouTube who does drum reactions. I don't know why. I like reaction videos sometimes. Usually the first time I got into a reaction video was everybody and their fucking mother was reacting to Pisces by Ginger.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because it's such a, I mean, especially watching the video, it is very jarring. You do not expect it. And Tatiana is a really good vocalist, both in clean singing and death metal growls.
Definitely.
She was even talking about doing a jazz record at one point, and I was like, please.
That'd be really cool. I'd be down for that.
Yeah. Because I don't know if you've listened to any of their like full records.
I have not.
They're on their first record, that's like a full record, not an EP. The first song is metal, and then the very last song, which I guess you could count as like a bonus track or something, maybe not, maybe they meant it to be just there, is the first song again, but it's jazz. It's not metal.
Interesting.
They just did jazz. And I was like, please do this more. But back to NATO Construct. That drummer on that album, he switches so many damn different styles. It is phenomenal. And he does it on like a pin turn.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's just incredible. He's such an incredible drummer. I really just want this band, even though they might be split up, I hope they get in like other projects along the way. I know they're trying to like balance their life and do adult stuff like fucking losers like I do. And I'm failing at it. But they just, there's so much talent there and so much creative atmosphere. I would love to see them do more. The one thing I wanted to bring up to you was one of the guitar players is finger picking the entire time, even like the heavy death metal parts.
Really?
Yes. So
that is quite interesting.
He has like a brass metal thumb pick that he'll use for like rapid strumming and everything. But like everything else is him just doing like free finger picking. If you look up on YouTube, you can look up the Spark of Argon. What and they have a playthrough video. And it gets really close on their hands, and it is just weird to watch this guitar player like, oh, I'm just going to finger pick some of these with my bare fucking fingers.
It reminds me of Andy from Pro Guitar Shop, because that's all he does.
But so I'm honestly really glad you like this record, because I found these guys kind of the same way I found Letters from the Colony, which was I was on Facebook not doing my homework, and there was like a Nuclear Blast Metal Blade record. I can't. These guys are Metal Blade. There was a Metal Blade advertisement, and it was like, check out our new band that we just signed and their new song. And I was like, what do I gotta lose?
Right.
Press play, and I was like, oh, hello. What is this that I have discovered? And I immediately listened to the album on repeat for like a week until the actual CD came in.
Right. Yeah, it is definitely really good. Probably my favorite progressive metal record that I've listened to, which isn't a long list, but you know, it's still saying something. Quiet World, Native Construct, very talented. If they came out with another record, I would definitely listen to it.
I'm so glad to hear that. Now, quick question. Have you ever listened to Haken?
No.
Okay. Forget that name. I never said it.
Okay. Yeah, so we actually got to the reviews a little bit quicker than we have the past couple episodes.
That's because we didn't do a list at the beginning. Now we got to do the list now.
Yes, I found another list. We're the Corey Taylor and List podcasts. Here we go. Loudwire, best death metal album.
Top 50 Corey Taylor songs.
Top 50 Corey Taylor songs. I should submit that to them.
Please don't.
Best. All right, so this is another list. Hopefully we won't go super, super long on this one. And then we'll go into what we've been doing. It is not a quiz. Although, hey, do you have your thing? We could do both.
What's my thing? Oh, you're talking about the
one you sent me.
Yes. I can pull it up very quick.
Cool. So this is Loudwire, and it's best death metal album of each year since 1985. And we just want to go through and have a discussion if we think it should be discussed. We aren't going to be quizzing each other. So, Mitchell, are you ready?
I do want to apologize right now in case you can hear my roommate in the background. He's telling my cat that he is a baby.
Well, he is. Sabbath is very baby.
He is very baby. He also occasionally tells him that he's a stupid baby. Yes, please. Let's find out how...
1985 possessed 7 churches. I feel like that's just the default, considering it's one of the earliest death metals. I've tried listening to 7 churches. It's just not my shtick. Interesting, like, historical piece, but I've never been able to sit through the whole thing. 1986, Possessed Beyond the Gates. I've never listened to it. Anything to add?
I for a minute I actually thought I had lost connection with you. I was like, what do I do? How do I fill the space? I mean, so far these are solid. I'm not gonna
Possessed. No, 1987. No, I'm kidding. 1987 is Death's Scream Bloody Gore.
Okay, there we go. There's a record.
It's not my favorite death record by any means.
But it was people's favorite death record that year.
Yes, absolutely. It was the only death record that year. Though since they released the remaster of it, I can appreciate it a little bit more. Kind of the same thing that happened with me and Kill 'Em All. I didn't like Kill 'Em All that much until I heard the remaster. So yeah, that was 87. 88 is Leprosy, Death.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Makes sense.
Leprosy slaps. No arguments for me. 89, Morbid Angels, Altars of Madness. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic. I still need to listen to it. But it also
Loudwire getting something right for once.
So far it's going okay. I guess they Altars of Madness was their pick for the best death metal record in general, wasn't it? I think so.
That sounds right, and that's not right.
Yeah, I mean, correct. It's not. Well, pure death metal is what it meant. 1990 Obituary's Cause of Death. I have never listened to it, though Obituary, is a classic band
to listen to. I think that might be the one. For people that don't know, which I think I've said this before, so you people should know. I don't like pure death metal. Never really have. And Ethan and I have a friend in college, or from college, Joey.
Yes, who loves it.
I believe Morbid Angel is his favorite band. No, it's
his favorite's Creator, I'm pretty sure.
Creator. Yes, Creator. But he really likes Morbid Angel as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, go ahead.
He tried to get me into Cannibal Corpse and Obituary, and I think that was the Obituary record he tried to get me into.
It's got this weird cover of like an eye behind a mummified man hanging from a tree. There's a lot of skulls everywhere.
Wow. Okay, I looked up Obituary record, and that was definitely not the thing to look at. Maybe I should type discography, so I don't see a bunch of old people dying.
Yeah, when it comes to classic death metal, Cole Daniels, the bass player for Fleshbore, when he first joined, he didn't really listen to modern death metal at all, or any of the subgenres, but he loved Morbid Angel, Obituary, Deicide, and then I showed him Meshuggah and Cattle Decapitation, and I was like, all right, sweet. No, I have not listened to that album by Obituary. I've never really listened to Obituary. I'm sure I probably like it.
He made me listen to Inked in Blood, which was released in 2014.
Oh, you were way off.
I was way off.
1991,
so,
Death's Human. Yeah,
I can see that. Human's a good record.
I've never listened to it.
It's a good one. Again, it's one of those that I think you would more appreciate the remaster. Because honestly, before the remasters came out, I did not like Death because my poor little ears could not take the potato recording.
Yeah, fair enough. 92 Bolt Thrower, The Fourth Crusade. Never listened to Bolt Thrower.
I can see it though.
93, Morbid Angel's Covenant. I know of that record. I've heard it's very, very good. I have not listened to it, though.
Near have I.
94, Cannibal Corpse's The Bleeding. I hate this record. I don't understand.
Is that Chris Barnes' era?
It's his last album.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why people... Like, I can understand why you would like Tomb of the Mutilated or Butchered at Birth or Eaten Back to Life. I don't consider The Bleeding that great. It's okay. It's just not amazing. And by that point, Chris Barnes' vocals were starting to get shot. Rumored to be that's why they let him go. But then he's since come out as like, I left voluntarily. I'm like, sure you did, bud. The Bleeding. I don't agree.
Person.
Yeah, I don't agree with The Bleeding, but I get it, I guess. 95, Suffocations, Pierced from Within. Yeah, I get it. It's yeah. People consider that record to be like the first Slam or album. But it's kind of the little blurb here. It's got some other heavy hitters that they mentioned that it's fighting with, like Symbolic and Slaughter of the Soul. So I don't know. All of them are classics.
I would have put Slaughter of the Soul, but
I feel like I'm leaning a little bit towards Slaughter of the Soul too. Not to say Symbolic is a slouch either. Symbolic is amazing. 1996. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say we're both Mellow Death fans.
Yes. I just like this choice because it says the record label is from Wrong Again, which so it doesn't even say record label. It just has really tiny text that says Wrong Again off to the side as if they're commenting. 96, Cryptopsy's None So Vile.
Yeah,
I get it.
That.
97, Vader, Black to the Blind.
I could see that.
I've listened to newer Vader, and I actually do like some of their newer stuff, but I have not listened to old Vader. 98, Gorguts Obscura, of course.
Yeah, okay.
Gorguts, definitely. 99,
oh my
still...
God. Oh
what?
my God. I just made a connection.
What?
The band
Obscura.
Yes, I forgot.
It's named from...
I forgot about that. I forgot. I feel bad that I forgot.
I've never listened to a Gorguts album.
They're good.
I've heard they're very good.
If you like Tech Death, you'll like Obscura. Or not Obscura, Gorguts. You would like Obscura too.
That kind of like Obscura's, that's interesting that they took a song title and made it their band title. I thought about doing that once with Future Breed Machine by
that's hot.
Meshuggah, but then they're like, people would think we're just a Meshuggah cover band. Like,
I would think you were a porno grind band, but that's beside the point.
All right, well, fair enough. 99, Opeth, Still Life.
Oh, really? Oh my God. No one ever fucking talks about that album. It is like my favorite Opeth album.
Really? I've never listened to it.
It was the album before Blackwater Park, and it was when they really kind of like got their sound. The third record's when they got their sound, but the fourth and fifth ones, which is Still Life and Blackwater, were the big ones. But I love the concept of Still Life, which is just a tragic love story.
Okay, nifty.
That ends in horrible murder of like an entire village, and then the main character getting hung.
Question for you: Does
yes?
Does Michael Alkerfelt? I butchered that.
Wow, I didn't know he was. I didn't know he was Scottish.
Whatever. Does he? When does he start singing? Has he sung in like all of their records?
Day one.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Oh, well, not day one.
It's not like Bloodbath.
No. And I shouldn't say day one because he wasn't a vocalist in the band originally.
Really? So is he not? Is he not the vocalist in Orchid?
No, he is.
Okay.
This was before they recorded an actual album.
All right. 2000, Children of Bodom, Follow the Reaper.
I guess. I don't like Children of Bodom.
I like a couple of songs, but it's just very samey. 2001, Blackwater Park. Yeah. I can't even get mad at Blackwater Park. But
every
so
list
far
we have done
has Blackwater Park. 2002, Bloodbath's Resurrection Through Carnage. So Mr. Ackerfeld. has been on 3 spots so far. I really do like Bloodbath, so that's kind of cool. But their earliest record is very rough to listen to, because it's that classic HM2 sound.
Yes.
2003, Vital Remains, De-Christianize.
I don't know it.
Me either. 2004, Epitaph by Necrophagist, of course.
Okay.
2005, Ghost Reveries by Opeth.
So good. Ooh,
Never listened to
you know
it.
what, Loudwire? You know what you talking about. I was wrong.
all things forgiven. 2006, Amon Amarth with Odin on Our Side.
Really?
I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I'm not saying it's a bad record. It's definitely not my favorite record by Amon Amarth, but I guess that was just a weak year for death metal.
I don't know how to pronounce this. 2007, Ekerkok.
Okay.
Antichrist. I've never heard of them.
How do you spell it?
Akercocke.
Sure.
But with the first blurb being devout Satanists and debonair dressers, Ekerkok have a fleeting relationship with their progressive tendencies, typically going out for the most obvious take on a riff, preferring savage and more brutish elements of death metal. Interesting. I can't pronounce your name, so it's kind of rough.
Hey, at least they're not one of those weird bands that are like, hey, we don't even have a name. Or like, how
does that exist?
Yeah. There is a band that is referred to as the Black Strip Band because they have no name, no album name, but the one album that they're known for has a black stripe on it, and that's it.
That's so indie.
Yeah. And they're a metal band, and they were a metal band suggested to me by a mutual metal friend that I met in college.
How do you
at music
suggest
tryouts?
How do you suggest that, dude? Like,
he was like,
so there's
hey,
this band.
They're called the Black Strip Band. Just Google that and you'll find them. And I was like, cool. And I haven't listened to him since. I haven't listened to him. I think I listened to one song and was like, all right, I'll save this for another time. But he was also the guy who told me that Death Clock and Black Dahlia Murder were core metal. So,
pardon?
Yeah, he was one of those confused individuals that thinks, deathcore, metalcore was melodic
anything
death
with
metal.
breakdowns. Everything is with breakdowns is garbage. 2008, Septic Flesh Communion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good record.
Never heard it.
It was a good record.
2009, Obscura, Cosmogenesis.
I've actually never listened to anything by Obscura except their latest one.
Okay. 2010, Decrepit Birth, Polarity. I've heard Decrepit Birth is really good.
I'm not listening to him.
Also, I think 66 Samus was in that band for a while. I think.
You know where he's originally from, right?
Where?
Abigail Williams.
I did not know that.
Yes, he was their drummer for a while.
Interesting. Yeah, didn't know that. 2011, Septic Flesh, The Great Mass.
It's such a good record.
2012, Cattle Decapitation, Monolith of Inhumanity.
I'm not going to argue
so
with
good.
it.
It's so
I'm not
good.
going to argue with it.
2013, Gorguts, Colored Sands. That's the album I was trying to think of earlier. I've heard that that's their big one.
I've heard really good things about that one. Never
2014, I believe you've told me about this band before. Insomnium, Shadows of the Dying Sun.
Oh, they're so good. Wait, what year was that?
2014.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I like the record, but it is definitely not their like masterpiece.
Is that one of the big Melodeath from Sweden bands?
They're actually Finland. They're not one of the fathers, no.
I thought they were.
The big four of Melodeath, which is actually 3. No, that's In Flames, Dark Tranquility, At the Gates.
That's what I was thinking. Gotcha.
Which is the Gothenburg scene.
Right. Yes. 2015, Sarpanitum, Blessed Be My Brothers.
Never even heard of them. Never heard of them.
Me either. I thought this was Testament, but it's not. It has the same... Basically, it's the same exact logo. To the point where I need you to look at this.
Okay.
Let
Google
me...
Chrome activate.
Oh, I can just send it to you on Discord.
Nope,
Oh, here we go.
Tillman.
Right. Interment, Scent of the Buried. It's just, that is the same logo as Testament.
Yeah,
Just
that's
a little bit more death metal.
Yeah, no, that's yeah, I mean, it is more death metal. It's not that like industrial thrash that you get with like
Ooh.
municipal
go ahead.
waste and everything.
Although apparently this album is an HM2 band, so like I kind of want to listen to that now. I highly agree with this one. 2017's Dying Fetus.
Wrong one to fuck with.
Such a good album. Such a good record.
No opinion.
Have you listened to it?
Nope, that's why there's no opinion.
Fair enough. Have you ever got into Dying Fetus? Or like listen to them?
Nope.
Okay, all right. 2018 Rivers of Nile, Where the Owls Know My Name.
Like there was even another choice.
Yeah. Actually, Malignancy by Flesh. No, I'm kidding. In case you don't know the joke, that was my band. 2019 Blood Incantation, Hidden History of the Human Race.
Who? What? Who?
Blood Incantation.
I got it. That was a joke, as in I never even heard of these guys.
Oh, fair enough. The cover looks like Green Goblin. Green Goblin had sex with a gray. If you know anything about aliens, that would make sense.
I know. Yeah, I know what grays are. Yeah, that's fucking hilarious. It's gross.
And yeah, that's about it. Interesting.
Hey, where's 2020s? What the fuck?
Yeah, 2020. Yep. Anyway, that was
so
that. And,
what I got from that was Opeth's good.
A lot of Michael Ackerfeld.
Please stop saying his last name like he's goddamn Scottish.
How do you say it?
Ockerfelt.
Ockerfelt?
Ock. There's a little circle above the A in the actual name.
Ackerfelt. Gotcha. And Ackerfelt. Oh, the Michael Ackerfelt.
I hate you so much and everything that you stand for.
Anyway, so you remember how we talked when we did the I think it was last episode, because the list pops up at the end of this article. The 66 best metal songs 21st century, when we talked about Disturbed's Down with the Sickness. I went and revisited that album. I listened. It's not good. It's not like all of the songs are hot garbage, but it is definitely not that great. And Down with the Sickness is not a good song. Let me pull up the track list here. And here's the problem with the Sickness that I find. I think it relies way too heavily on repetition. Especially in the choruses, it is very, very repetitive. Like they're just begging for a stadium to chant along with them, especially for some of the things that aren't even lyric related, like the ooh rat and rat, you know, it's very frustrating. Now, that is not to say some of the songs aren't bad. I like Violence Fetish. I thought Numb is actually pretty good. Let me listen to Fear real quick. Fear has a very interesting tone to it. I forgot that I used to like Conflict a lot, but it's not a good song up until like the end where it kind of gets a little heavy. But I do like their cover of Shout 2000. I think that's really good. Not a great record.
Shout, let it all out.
Shout. I think Disturbed always does pretty well on their covers, so I can't really be mad at that.
I've actually they released a cover not too long ago of something, and somebody's comment was, "I'm so sick of this amazing band being only known for their covers." I'm like, bud.
Was it the cover of Sound of Silence?
No, it was their newest cover.
I don't even know what that is.
They have like a cover every album, if not multiple covers.
Yeah, I remember that, but I'm not sure which one It is, because I'm looking at their most recent record, which I refused to listen to after I tried listening to the lead single, Are You Ready? And it was 4 minutes of straight garbage.
There's one song that I really hated by them that I was just like, I'm never listening to another Disturbed record, which it was all about like smoking weed and liking to get high. And I was like, guys, come on. I'm pretty sure that the song might even be 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
I believe you're talking about the song Fire It Up.
Yes.
And it's only 4 minutes, 6 seconds.
Okay, come on, guys. If you're going to hone it in, 14 more seconds of something. Like, just get a fat bong rip for 14 seconds at the end. Fuck.
I do vaguely remember hearing that song. And then after I listened to The Sickness, I hopped around to the other albums, to songs that I remember liking. Liberate off of Believe, as well as Mistress off of Believe. I really like those songs, and they do hold up. I realized I've never listened to a full Disturbed record other than The Sickness. And I feel like I think I might listen to Believe. I've heard that's a great record, but I've never listened to all of it. Out of
all of them, I think that is the best one, and it's the one that sounds the least like the rest of Disturbed.
And then I remember, I don't think there was anything off of 10,000 Fists I really liked other than the title track, 10,000 Fists. Hold on. Now I'm going to go through their entire discography because I have to at this point. Yeah.
Here are all the covers that they've done.
Oh, yeah. Land of Confusion. That was a good cover. I thought their cover of that was really good. Indestructible. I like the title track. I like Inside the Fire. The Night and Perfect Insanity are really good. And then I don't know what the cover is on this track. Maybe it's Facade, but I don't know any of the other songs off the top of my head. That's The Sickness 10th anniversary.
I actually Googled
Disturbed's covers.
Yep. Every Disturbed cover song ranked from worst to best.
Ah, interesting. I'm sure Sound of Silence will be number one. Is this a Loudwire article?
No, it's Louder Sound.
Interesting.
Also, why did you have to spoil number one? Fuck you, man.
Was it really going to be anything else?
I don't know. Man.
Was it going to be their U2 cover off of Asylum? No.
No, that's number 8.
Off of Asylum, I really like the song Serpentine.
That's a good one.
It's a great track, actually. It's one of my I thought about covering that for a little while. Then I forgot they had like an unreleased album called The Lost Children, and the only song I really know is 3. No. Is this a cover of Faith No More's Midlife Crisis?
Yes.
Oh my god, I didn't know that they did that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So before you keep diving, can I do the top 8 before you spoil all 8?
Sure.
Number 8, I still haven't found what I'm looking for, originally by U2.
And have they only done 8?
According to this, but I don't know if it has the newest album on it. Fade to Black by Metallica.
I have heard that was live though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Music as a Weapon too.
It wasn't that bad. It was okay.
Living After Midnight.
What?
Judas Priest.
Okay. Yeah, that's off of 3 as well, or that's off of The Lost Children as well.
Yep. Midlife Crisis by Faith No More. Shout 2000.
It's a good one.
Tears for Fears. If I Ever Lose My Faith in You, originally by Sting.
If I Ever Lose My Faith in You. What album is that on?
I'm trying to find out.
If I Ever Lose My Faith in You.
I think this might be their newest album.
It
is their newest album.
It's not on Spotify. It's off of the album Evolution?
Evolution, yep.
If I Ever Lose My Faith in You.
And that was the one where I found that comment, and I was like, dude, stop bitching. You're lucky that they are known at all.
Yeah, I don't see that on here at all. Not even on the deluxe version.
Land of Confusion by
Great
Genesis. And then The Sound of Silence, which is apparently really controversial.
Yeah, I remember it making Anthony Fantano's worst song of the year list.
I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was actually pretty decent.
I thought it was good. I guess his reasoning was he hated the production on it. He said it was overly compressed, and
I mean, fair.
I can't decide if I like Anthony Fantano or not. I like some of his videos.
I hate him.
Have you seen his video where he's like, do you know the character Cal Chuchesta or whatever?
No.
It's like he wears like 14 sweaters and a fake mustache. He did a review, like a quote unquote review on the mixtape he did as that character. And it's actually a very funny video. It's actually really funny. I was laughing out loud at work. The deluxe version of Evolution has a live version of Sound of Silence featuring Miles Kennedy.
Oh.
Which Miles Kennedy is a great vocalist. But yeah, so yes. I revisited The Sickness. It's not that good. Oh, dude, David Draymond took out his weird lip piercing.
What the fuck? He ain't David Draymond anymore. Now he's just Howard Stern. Not Howard Stern.
Howie Mandel.
Yeah, now he's just Howie Mandel.
Oh, here's If I Ever Lose My Faith in You. No, that was a recent cover. It came out on 9/11 this year, but it wasn't off an album.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah,
I've also
what's the other one where people look the same and everyone gets pissed about it? Oh, it's the drummer of Red Hot Chili Peppers
and Will Ferrell.
Yeah, and the drummer gets really fucking pissed about it all the time, apparently.
Yeah. What else have I
Well, Will Ferrell doesn't give two shits.
Yeah, of course not. I tried listening. I did. I sat down and I tried to listen to the new 6 Feet Under record. I did not make it. I didn't make it past one. I didn't make it past the first song. Now, admittedly, the first song's instrumentation is better than Zodiac, but the vocals are still garbage. So it's
a Chris Barnes record.
It's a big pass on me. I checked out the Ninja Sex Party's recent singles. They're okay. And then I've been listening to a lot of Archspire. I think I finally got into Archspire. For a while, I didn't really like them. I just kind of considered them, hey, look at We Can Do really, really fast. And I get it. Involuntary Doppelganger is a banger track, and then that kind of let me listen to the rest of it. But yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. What have you been up to? I streamed like 4 hours of 3.5 hours of Doki Doki Literature Club.
Yes.
I have not finished it yet. I got through the first playthrough. And I started the next one, but it started messing with me a little bit because I went to go save and I noticed all my saves were gone. So I assumed that was just once the person in the first playthrough dies, I'm
pretty sure it's always the same person.
Yes, but I don't want to spoil it in case if anyone wants to play. I do highly recommend it. It took me I was playing it for a solid 3.5 hours, just kind of waiting for, I was like, hey, when is the psychological horror supposed to hit? And then I remember the first time it does the whole no more music while you're going through a conversation or like about to try and start a conversation. It immediately my stomach sunk. I'm like, oh no, what's happening? And then it was surprisingly effective. I ended the stream just after you make it to the literature club again with Monica or whatever her name is. Very interesting. And then I assume the second playthrough is going to be where all the crazy stuff happens. So
I can't remember how many playthroughs actually happen.
Yeah, and do you know if it's like, does it change each time you play? Like, or is it like, do your choices really matter?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
They're basically, you know how, this shouldn't be a spoiler, but you know how you can like you have one of them come over to your house to help you with the project?
Yes.
Yeah. there's a way that you can actually get Sayori to do it. But basically each of them besides Sayori has a different thing, kind of.
Like
that you can do.
like
But there's like 4 or 5 different like ending date things.
Gotcha. I mean, I've had one thing spoiled for me, but this was like a couple years ago. Like, I've seen the clip of one of the characters freaking out. I forget her name, but I'm not going to spoil it for other people.
No.
But it is the same. It is the same person that I went after in my first playthrough.
Okay. Is it when they freak out? Do you just stand there for a long time after that?
I don't know. I don't know what happens.
Okay.
All I know is they're doing like it's not the meme face thing, the ahigao or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
But the character's tongue is out and they're covered in blood.
Got it. Yep. I know exactly who you're talking about and what, because there's like another freak out moment that happens with a different character.
Yes. So I went for that character in my first playthrough. So when she did come over and like it starts focusing on something, I was like, oh no, is this when it's going to happen?
Yeah.
No. So I assume that's going to happen in the second playthrough. And then
that interaction in general, though, is really fucking creepy.
Yeah. And then my brother-in-law did give me a hint on what to do in the end game for an endless sequence thing that happens.
Yeah.
So
okay.
he just said that you might want to know that. And I'm like, all right, cool. He didn't spoil anything else, but I was kind of on the right track anyway, because on my, do I really want to?
No, let's not spoil it.
Yeah, I'll talk about it when we're done recording. So yeah, I played a little bit of Doki Doki. It is October, so I'm trying to do some spooky stuff. And yeah, so that's cool.
I personally did not play the game. Unfortunately, it is one of those games where I do watch YouTubers, which has been a recent thing, and I still haven't decided if it's actually good for me to be doing that or not, because I waste a lot of time doing it. But there's been a couple of games that I kind of wish I had never watched the YouTuber play it. One of them was Subnautica. I really wish I could go back and only like watch like the first couple episodes Mark did, shut it off, and then play it. Because
that kind of reminds me of a thing we might be able to try for a funsies bonus thing. But keep going. I'll bring that up later.
There's that Doki Doki. I wish I could have played myself. One game that I did force it to stop and not play, and I played it myself, was Inside. And I'm really glad that I did that.
Yeah, I've been wanting to play that and Limbo. I haven't played either.
Both are really solid. Both are like 2 hours long unless you get stuck. None of the puzzles are hard. I think in Limbo there was like one puzzle I got stuck on towards the end. And Inside I had to look up one thing and then I felt really stupid after it. And it was like the very last thing you had to do in Inside as well. Both are really solid games. I prefer Inside more. The sound design in that game is incredible, and the music is fantastic. Anyways, before we go on to what am I doing, I have a list of my own.
Oh yeah.
So, a friend of mine, who actually sold me my 100-year-old violin when I was younger, decided to send me the list of 20 songs the CIA used to torture prisoners of war.
Jesus. All right.
As a preface, some of these song choices are based on the fact of insulting the person's religion, while others are just because it's repetitive and annoying as fuck.
All right.
So, because some of these you might be like, well, I would listen to that normally. Why is that a problem? And it's literally just to be like, religion, culture kind of shock. So they had Deicide's Fuck Your God.
All right. I would not listen to that anyway. Deicide is Garbo.
I've never listened to Deicide myself. They have Dopes, Die Motherfucker Die, Take Your Best Shot.
Yeah.
Eminem's White America, Kim, and The Real Slim Shady.
Oh, okay. Kim is... I used to like that song, but then I stopped being an edgy teenager.
Oh, come on.
That is... Look, I don't have any interest in listening to Eminem kill his wife.
Fair. Barney and Friends theme song.
Heck yeah, brother.
Yeah, no, I mean, that shit slaps. Put that on repeat, bruh.
Rob Scallon, work on that metal cover.
Please don't encourage that. He will. You know he will. That
yeah,
man
I went back. I finally went back and watched some more Rob Scallon today, and it's been a hot minute, so it was good to go back.
I honestly have been really appreciating his exploration of like music history and instruments and large instruments.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you watched any of those videos. They're kind of longer.
I have not. I mean, I watched Tharembo metal.
Okay, no, you're still like watching his covers. He has a couple of them that are like documentaries almost. And they're like 50 minutes long. But they're really cool. He has one on the church in Chicago that has like the largest organ in all of the United States.
Yes, I saw that pop up, but I have not watched it.
It is so cool to watch. He has another one on the bell tower that's at the University of Chicago. I think that's the university. And it's like the third largest bell in the world. But they're playable. And there's an actual guy who sits in the tower with a weird bell keyboard. And of course, like you'll have to watch the documentary to actually get the name of it. He plays like different songs that people request. Like he'll play the Game of Thrones song on bells, and of course Harry Potter.
Right.
But when Rob was there, he actually did a cover of Rob's Reign on the bell tower bells, and like Rob almost like cried, man. And it's cool because these people are also letting him play these giant instruments that people can hear from miles away.
Right.
And he doesn't completely suck at them because it's Rob, and Rob just basically knows how to play any instrument you hand him.
Yeah, he's a genius.
I would love to meet that guy someday. He seems really chill.
Shade Frost from the WASD Gamecom channel has met him, and yeah, he seems really, really cool. They took a couple of pictures together. I think he was at like a Rooster Teeth event, and they just ran into each other.
Okay. And then he has one on the entire history of guitars. From like, they're all really good and really informative, and just really impressive. But he has the experts right there, so it's not like he's just like pulling out a Wikipedia article. He's with people that've been doing these for years, and like the guitar one is a guy he's done songs with before that plays like ancient guitars.
Right.
So they're really cool videos. I recommend them. But back to CIA torture.
Yes.
Drowning Pool's Bodies.
Of course.
Metallica's Enter Sandman.
I mean, if I heard Enter Sandman more than once in a 2-week period, I would be annoyed.
The Meow Mix commercial jingle. Yeah, no, that one.
Heck yeah,
that
brother.
one. That one I would put a gun in my mouth.
I used to love that. I don't think it's a thing anymore.
No. No. The Sesame Street theme song.
Heck yeah.
David Gray's Babylon. I don't even know that one.
Don't know what that is.
AC/DC Shoot to Thrill Hell's Bells. Yeah, I can understand that. I want to kill myself every time I hear it. BG Staying Alive. I like the song, but you have it on repeat. Yeah, that's
Staying alive.
Staying alive. Staying alive. Yeah. Tupac's All Eyes on Me.
I don't think I've heard that one.
Christina Aguilera's Dirty.
I don't know that one.
Neil Diamond's America.
Nope.
Rage Against the Machine. Unspecified songs. In other words, probably their entire catalog.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I like Rage Against the Machine. I'm not shitting on them, but I can definitely see people, one, being super insulted by their stuff, and two, just not wanting to hear a man scream as a guitar makes a bunch of weird sound effects.
Yep. Yeah. Tom Morello.
Great guitar player. Very talented. Rage Against the Machine's an interesting experience.
Yeah. I mean, I like,
I like their first record.
No, what's the super group with him and Audio Slave? I like Audio Slave a lot.
Yeah. Don McLean's American Pie. Yeah, I want to kill myself every time I hear.
I had to learn that song in my guitar class.
Rough.
I don't know. I liked it.
Bye,
Mr. American Man, roll my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Yeah.
Yeah. Were those good boys drinking whiskey and wine?
It's whiskey and rye.
Fuck off, okay?
And it is.
The CI hasn't come after me yet. Saliva's Click Click Boom. I
like that song. Click Click Boom.
But do you like it enough to hear it for like 24 hours straight?
I mean, I don't like any song that much.
I don't know. I could listen to Mirror Reaper on 24 hours.
Well, that's because it goes on for so long that you forget what the last section was.
Exactly. Matchbox 20 Cold.
Don't know it.
I actually, after reading this article, I was reading it off to my roommate, and he was like, "Oh my god, yeah, I could see that." I was like, "I don't think I've ever heard a Matchbox 20 song." And I immediately looked it up, and after like 2 seconds, I was like, "Nope, can't do it. Bye."
Yeah, I don't think I've heard them either.
Okay, I don't know how to pronounce this. It's Headpay. It's open-HED _PE. The song is Swan Dive.
Interject real quick. I apologize.
How dare you?
Enterprise Earth released a cover of Flying Whales with Tyler Shelton from Traders. I don't know who Enterprise Earth is.
I don't know either, but send it to me because I'm going to immediately judge this as the Gojira expert and connoisseur.
Like, you want to hear it now?
Kind of, yeah. And number 20, Prince's Raspberry Beret.
I don't know what that is.
Now, funny enough, not too long after I said this, was talking to my roommate. Apparently, places are, I think, to get homeless people out of the area, putting Baby Shark on repeat.
Jesus.
And once again, yeah, I would totally kill myself too if that was happening to me.
Yeah.
All right, send this bad boy to me. We will do a quick listen.
Okay, it starts at 108.19. I don't know why this man is naked at the Grand Canyon. If you skip to 110.35, you'll get to the
meat
breakaway.
And potatoes?
Yes. Okay.
I'm almost there.
It's okay. His singing voice is okay. When it breaks away into that like low growl, that's kind of like what he's known for. Yeah, it's not bad.
I don't like the bass tone.
You don't like the what?
Bass.
That is rough, considering that album has some of the best guitar and bass tones I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's decent enough. I don't know if it's. I think it's edited, but yeah, it's a decent cover.
It wasn't.
I give it like 6.5, 7.
Yeah.
On quality. Yeah, it's good.
Like 5,
it was okay.
6. Yeah.
Could have been way worse.
Could have been.
Anyway, what have you been up to?
Yeah. Had a horrible day yesterday at work.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, it was my fault. I was team leading. And that's always fun. Especially when I don't get paid to be a team leader, but still do the work. I made such a horrible error that there was a possibility that people's packages could have been sent to the wrong city.
Ooh, nice.
If everyone else didn't do their job properly. So that was scary.
Fun stuff.
That was fun. What I've actually been up to, trying to do positive mental health stuff. Moving the nights on the 1st
Nice.
of November. So, shouldn't affect our podcast at all. My sleep schedule, I plan on being up at around like 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'll be less tired than you for that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I started crypto mining.
That's not really going to net you too much anymore.
Actually, no, I take that back. Not crypto mining. No, not at all. You have to have like entire farms at this point to do actual crypto mining.
Right.
No, I'm doing folding at home, but there's 2 types of cryptocurrency that if you like sign up to do it, you get paid to do folding at home.
Mm-hmm.
They're not worth shit. Like, I think to like make a Bitcoin, like 1 Bitcoin out of the cryptocurrency I'm using, I need like 1 trillion. But it's kind of like, I'm going to do this for a while. I'm going to see how bad my electric bill gets and how much I earn, and if it's worth continuing where it doesn't like kill my electric bill. And I can get a decent amount of cryptocurrency, I'll do it. But I figured I'm doing folding at home anyways.
Right.
Might as well get paid for it,
I suppose.
So the 2 cryptocurrencies are folding coin and cure coin. And yeah, so far I haven't gotten paid at all. Apparently they don't pay you until you get enough points to equal 1 cure coin.
Mm-hmm.
And they pay on a daily basis, and my wallet's still empty, so I'm like, this might not be feasible at all.
Yeah, I don't. Cryptocurrencies at this, if you weren't in it back when it started blowing up, it's just kind of not feasible anymore, in my opinion.
Yeah, and again, this isn't mining. This is actually kind of like having a job, because someone's paying you to do this. I guess crypto mining was too, because all your computer was doing was being a supercomputer that processed transactions.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just my computer being used by Stanford to help with protein synthesis and folding algorithms.
Right.
Which is cool. I mean, that's so cool, like, to be in the 21st century and being able to help scientists by just being like, yo, dude, I got a sick-ass graphics card. You want to borrow it? Here you go.
It kind of reminds me, I vaguely remember somebody, like, it was a video game where when people
I know exactly what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, when people were playing it, it would, like, assist in the...
It was a puzzle game, I believe, and it was basically just like people folding proteins, and then it ran like an algorithm. It's like, yeah, that's a possible protein fold, yeah. So
yeah,
it's similar, except this one's not a game. You just run it in the background and it fucking heats your house. I'm not joking. Like my computer downstairs right now, for people that don't know, I got a gaming computer and a laptop. I do all my music stuff on a laptop right now. My game computer stays downstairs and I play games on it. But like my CPU is at like 56 degrees Celsius. My graphics card's at like 55 degrees Celsius. It's running them at like 100% power.
Yeah.
So,
I totally didn't just break my chair.
Are you lying to me?
Actually, I'm not. I guess it was the lock that keeps the thing from tipping does not like my weight, so sometimes it breaks away. But
I got you. What else have I been doing besides being a hacksaw and getting crypto money that I'll never use? I started Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh yeah, I've been wanting to play that.
I believe that's when we were talking about sharing Steam libraries.
Yes, I'm still waiting on that.
Hey, look, we talk about a recording and it never gets brought up again afterwards. That's your problem, buddy.
Right.
I like it so far. My computer is not liking it though. But it's funny. My computer system, I was in the middle of building a new setup, a $3,000 setup to be precise. And I only spent about $1,000, and that wasn't enough to get all the parts I needed. For people that are like going, why is he paying $3,000? It's a liquid cooling build because I'm a hobbyist, but I don't make enough money to be a hobbyist. So I have a GTX 2080 Super graphics card,
dude. I only have a 1080.
And it's running on a motherboard that still uses an AM3 processor and DDR3 RAM. So it's getting bottlenecked pretty hard. It can run most games pretty fine, but I think the CPU is starting to wear out. Finally,
I would upgrade to the new Ryzen's, brother. They're great.
Yeah, but I have to buy a new motherboard, new CPU, possibly a new CPU cooler, new DDR4 RAM now.
If you end up upgrading, so I have a 3900X, great processor, but the cooler it comes with is decent enough to get you by.
The cooler I run an AIO, which for people that don't know, that's all-in-one unit. It's a liquid cooler.
Gotcha.
But it's one of the ones that are like an enclosed system where you don't have to do all the maintenance and everything. So I just don't know if it would fit a AM4 chip or not because it's built for AM3 chips. But I don't know what the size difference is.
I don't know off the top.
And I don't want to pay for an AIO, a new one, if I'm doing a liquid cooling build, because that's like a solid $100 that I would lose, if not more. Depending on how big the radiator is. So yeah, I'm pretty much to upgrade to where I want to be, minus graphics card, case, and power supply. It's about $1,000, but that's because I want like RGB RAM, which is unnecessary, but it's a hobbyist build.
It's very unnecessary.
Again, it's a hobby. I mean, a liquid cooling computer is unnecessary. But I want curvy pipes with colorful liquid in it and lots of lights. Sue me.
I will.
I don't have the money to build the computer. Where would you get the money from me?
I don't know. I'd take your violin.
No, it's only appraised for $1,000.
Sell it and get a computer.
Ethan, that's not even funny, man. That's got so much sentimental value and history in it. And I spent
sentimental value does not matter.
And I already spent like $400 getting it repaired. Because dummy may have stepped on it when he came home from college.
Yikes, dude.
I had a bunch of clothes on top of it and didn't realize that the violin case was underneath my foot. So, it's fine. It's totally repaired now. It's solid. I also got to see the inside of my violin for the first time ever. That's a weird.
I'm sure that was a fun experience.
Well, no, I got to see it because the violin guy took the face plate off. It wasn't. By the way, violin is like 3-4 different pieces, like just the body itself,
right?
Glued together. The damage was not like I shattered my violin or anything. I like put a decent amount of pressure on it, and it put a fracture through the entire face.
Yikes.
But the problem with the fracture, besides the fact that it was loose wood, was it was where the bridge is, and that's where all the tension from the strings goes directly down on.
Right.
And if it's underneath the foot, that's asking for the bridge to all of a sudden go through my violin. So the guy had to take, so the guy had to take the faceplate off, kind of like do a bunch of like supporting beams and glue and stuff. But it sounds at least as good as I remember, if not better than when I first had it. So,
note to all musicians, break your instruments and get them fixed. It'll sound better.
It possibly can if it's in hollow body and you get a guy that's willing to put your instrument back together. The theory behind that is that you loosen all the wood so that the vibrations do different things. Anything else I'm doing? No, not really. Just trying to fight that existential dread, brother.
I know that feeling, dude. I'm getting surgery in the morning and I'm going to be out of work for about 3 months.
Oh, man. You and injuries, dude. And it affecting your work.
Well, I mean, this particular one wasn't like just one injury did it. It's been years of abuse.
Sure.
And then I heard it. So I'm basically getting my entire left leg reconstructed.
Insert Cyberpunk 2077 meme.
And it's going to be fun. So
yeah, no, leg surgery, especially knees, not a.
Oh, I know. I broke my kneecap in 8th grade, so I know that feel. But I should be getting like my grandfather's inheritance soon because everything cleared. So hopefully I'll have a little bit of money to keep me bolstered for a couple of months. But if that comes in, I can pay off like my credit cards and my car and possibly some of the stuff that's gone to collections and improve my credit score. So
hopefully
that's going to be,
yeah. I'm hoping that one, we get another stimulus check. I need money. I'm hoping going full time on nights for 2 months will get me a solid amount of money. I'm going to hate myself during this entire time because I also plan on working CTB on Tuesdays and Saturdays along with my 8 hours that I normally do. So I will be at work from 2:30 p.m. until 6 a.m. the next morning.
Screw that, dude.
Yeah, but I really need the money. Mitchell has made financial errors. Plus college, which is also a financial error.
I have no money and I hate myself.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. And I have a $3,000 computer that I still want to build, even though why? Who knows? I just want a pretty thing that does stuff. I will say a little bit more about the Star Wars game. It's fun. I enjoy the character so far. I haven't progressed very far. I just got off the first planet after the prologue.
Right.
And the combat's fun. I was a little weirded out because your sword attack button is not a trigger, and everyone was like, it's a Souls game. And I was like, immediately, right trigger to lightsaber. Why am I not? And it wasn't doing it, and it's X button. And it was like, oh, this is going to be a little different, even though this is how I used to play adventure games. Story seems solid enough. It definitely, takes place in that whole Dark Souls RPG adventure Legend of Zelda thing where it's like, this is the dark times, go and find these 3 items or people, and then you'll progress the story to get the secret thing that'll help you defeat evil, or in this case recreate the Jedi Order. So.
Gotcha.
But, I mean, it's fun. I'm trying to kind of get my roommate to try it out. He doesn't like Star Wars because he's lame, but I don't really care for Star Wars all that much either. I just kind of like the universe. But I don't really think you need to know Star Wars all that well, as long as you know Rebels are technically the good guys and Empire is technically the bad guys. What a lightsaber is, that it takes place in space, and what the Force is. And if you know pretty much all that, you're good to go. Which is not like, I'm not even talking like you need to know in depth what those things are. You just need to be like, Force is the magic in this universe. There you go.
Yeah, I've been wanting to play that game. I played a little bit at my buddy Jazz's house, but he was already done with the game, so I had no idea what was going on. I think I did some stuff on Hoth, which is the ice planet.
See, I didn't even know you go to Hoth. So thanks, Ethan.
It's like one of the main planets in the lore. It's like, you're not going to go to Coruscant. Actually, I don't know if you go to Coruscant.
I don't think you do. Which one's Coruscant?
What's
the planet that gets blown up?
I don't know.
Shit.
I think I don't know.
I forget what planet gets blown up by that Princess Leia is from. Obviously, you won't be going to that one because this takes place in between the new Star Wars films and the original Star Wars films.
Oh, so it's between 6 and 7?
Yeah, because actually, I'm sorry. I'm so stupid. No, this takes place between 3 and 4. Because this happens after Order
66.
Yes, thank you. You are like a child that was able to escape the wrath of Anakin. Killing younglings.
I saw Anakin killing younglings.
I love that meme. But yeah, so that seems fine so far. It is really pretty. I do have a lot of frame rate drops though, but again, that could just be my system being bottlenecky. And listeners, if you want to help, I could always start a GoFundMe page. Okay.
I don't think that's going to work. If we ever get to the point of getting a Patreon, we'll be doing well.
Come on, sponsors. Raycon?
No, I will not sponsor Raycon.
Shadow Raid Legends?
No, and it's Raid Shadow Legends.
I'll correct the name if you give me money.
No, if we ever take sponsorships, it's going to be from good companies. Raycon are garbage. I take one from Wendy's. You
gave Aaron Hansen one for a little bit. Come on.
Did they do that?
Uh-huh.
Huh. I did not know that.
They actually let him go and into their secret test kitchen.
Interesting.
And try out stuff. And then they kind of broke up the relationship, and Aaron was very sad and bitter about it.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Also, they had a 10-minute power episode where they like blind tasted fast food, and I think one of the ones that they did was burgers. And Aaron took a bite of a Wendy's burger, and he was like, "This is the worst one." And then he found out it was Wendy's. He's like, "No, that can't be it." And Dan was just
I like Wendy's.
You're never
burgers.
getting that. You're never getting that sponsorship back, dude.
I like Wendy's burgers. It's the only burger joint I'm actually like not big on. Surprisingly, I've lost my love for Five Guys.
A lot of people talk. I love how we're a music podcast, and this is what we're talking about. I had never had Five Guys until last year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get the hype.
The burgers are just okay, and then they changed something about the fries. I think they changed the kind of oil they're deep fried in, because I do not like the fries anymore, and I used to love them.
I just remember getting a to-go bag, and by the time I got home, the bag was gone because the grease from the fries just
it melted through. Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to put this in my body at this point. Like, I don't like myself, but I don't hate myself this much.
Since I'm going to be out of commission for the next few months, I decided to drive up to Lebanon yesterday, which is where my dad used to live. But they opened up.
The person I know that has ever pronounced Lebanon as Lebanon.
Is that wrong?
I don't know.
Anyway, Lebanon, and so we lived up there, and anytime I go up there, I have to drive by our old house. It's just nostalgic. But they opened up a Taco John's, and Taco John's is delicious. If If you ever get the chance, I highly recommend it. There's only a couple around here. There's one in, and by around here, I just mean in Indiana. There's one in Lebanon, and there's one in Peru. But if you go, I highly recommend the potato olays. They are quite delicious. I think we should wrap this up.
No, come on. Let's keep chugging along.
Look, every episode has been longer than the last, and by God, I do not want to hit 3 hours before I do not want to hit 3 hours at least until we do that kind of weird long thing we're planning for a particular episode. I do not.
Come on.
No.
You're breaking the mold.
I don't. Yeah. I will break the mold. So, do you want to give me my album first?
You know what? I do.
Okay.
It's been talked about.
It's going to be episode 5. Also, this is going to be going up around Halloween, like a week before. So happy Halloween, guys.
Yeah. Happy Halloween.
Otherwise,
we should have chosen spooky albums. Damn.
Yeah, I want to start planning a little bit ahead, and I'll have you know, it was really hard for me not to give you the new 6 Feet Under album. I
hope you know, I wouldn't have even listened to it.
You'd have to.
Don't. Nope.
You would have to. For our fans.
Hey, I love all 5 of you guys, but I don't love you that much. Well, I would lie wholeheartedly, and you wouldn't be able to tell because I would just go on a rant about how much I hate this music and Chris Barnes.
And it would be accurate.
And anyway, it would be very accurate.
Anyway, continue.
So this album has been coming at you for a while. We all knew it. It was going to happen. It's been mentioned several times on this show. It's the 5th. Oh yeah. You constantly been like, oh man, yeah, I should listen to that album, but I haven't. And it's the 5th episode. It's halfway to that weird long episode that we've discussed possibly happening. Is
this either Rivers of Nile or Opeth?
Why would I give you Rivers of Nile? You've listened to that record, haven't you?
Not all of it.
Okay, you are getting 2 records then. No, I'm kidding. Though, please listen to the Rivers of Nile record. Otherwise, I'm going to have to give you that record.
Punchline.
It's Blackwater Park, man. Come on.
Okay. Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. I need to listen to Blackwater Park. So it's also going to be really easy for me to remember. So.
Yeah. And let's be honest, that has literally, I think every episode at least been brought up once. It's not always like you need to listen to it, but it's like in one of those stupid lists. Or maybe Corey Taylor really likes Blackwater Park, as he fucking should.
Hold on. Corey Taylor, Blackwater Park.
Matt Heafy really likes it. Does Matt Heafy count?
Details on new music? No. There is nothing about him talking about Let me see. Opeth.
I'm going to tweet this man right now.
What do Corey Taylor and Opeth's Michael Ackerfeld, I know I'm pronouncing it wrong,
you're doing it on purpose at this
have
point.
in comment? Slipknot and Stone Sour frontman Corey Taylor performs an acoustic cover of Bon Jovi's Wanted Dead or Alive. All right, there isn't anything. There's nothing. I tried.
Take my word as the official Corey Taylor podcast.
Corey Taylor likes Blackwater Park, confirmed.
Corey Taylor likes Blackwater Park.
He probably
And that's
does.
what Corey Taylor thinks about Blackwater Park.
So, all right, Blackwater Park, Opeth. For you, it's been 5 episodes in the making, or it will be 5 episodes in the making. I have told you to listen to this particular album. I haven't really mentioned it much in the podcast, but in the past, I have said, hey, have you listened to this record? Hey, have you listened to this record yet?
And I said yes every time.
You did not. Are you ready for your cows to be headless?
Ah, son of a bitch.
It's time. Cattle Decapitation's Death Atlas.
I'm going to actually be honest with you. I did listen to some of this record at one point.
Did you? I can give you one of their other ones because
No.
I asked all of my big Cattle fans. I'm like, all right, I'm going to give him a Cattle record. Which one should I give him? They said if you weren't into death metal that much, to give you Anthropocene Extinction, and no. They said if you weren't into it, to give you Death Atlas, but if you were, I don't remember. Either way, mainly the consensus was Death Atlas.
I could see Death Atlas. How about this? If you want, we could do this, and we'll just have to, be good hosts and try to keep it short as I hit my mic once again as a professional that I am.
How much of the record have you listened to?
I think it was only a couple of songs, if that.
Probably
I think it
the
was
lead
like two singles.
You probably listened to One Day Closer and Bring Back the Plague.
It's also, I've listened to Bring Back the Plague.
Great track.
For sure.
I love that song.
I listened to it because I was curious about his harmonizing vocals that you always talk about.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the songs that has it a little bit more often, but it's in every song, I think.
But and this is why I'm like, this album, I remember hating them. But I have a proposition for you. I will listen to 2 Cattle records, the 2 that your friend said, if you listen to Blackwater Park, and you can either listen to the Rivers of Nile album or another Opeth record.
Well, with that, we're going to have to look at album lengths, because I know that Opeth gets a little bit long-winded.
Most of their albums are like 50 minutes.
Okay, Death Atlas is 54. Let me look at. Okay, Anthropocene is 46. Monolith is 43.
Okay, I lied. Blackwater Park is 66.
Okay.
How long is? I was either going to make you listen to Ghost Reveries or Still Life, because you've listened to most of Watershed. Ghost Reveries
to my
is also
to my
66.
knowledge. Okay.
How long is Still Life? Basically, I was thinking like 1 week you do one album, the next week you do the other kind of thing, or however you wanted to do it.
Oh, like we would give the next 2 episodes today?
No. Just like for you listening to for yourself, you would like listen to just Blackwater Park that week, take all your notes on it, and then the next week take all your notes on the other one, or however you want to listen to it. I'm just making a suggestion so you don't get overwhelmed. Yeah, still okay. Both records are over an hour long, but not like
a lot. That's a lot of music,
dude. I love how you say that, but I'm so used to it. It's up to you. I'll give you that option because I'm interested in checking out Cattle Decap with how much you love them, and God knows you know how much I love Opeth.
Well, so here's the thing. I know for a fact that you will like their more, in terms of just pure listening experience, you will like their more recent records more than their older stuff, because their older stuff was a lot grindier. They started off as a grindcore band. And as they went, they added more death metal into it, but until Monolith, the production was not great. It got better with each record, but when Monolith hit, it was that's when they started getting really, really polished. And Dave Otero as a producer is just a madman.
Gotcha.
Death Atlas is the most palatable, in my opinion. But Anthropocene and Monolith have some ridiculous songs.
By the way, where Owls Know My Name is 56 minutes.
Okay, so it's about the same as Death Atlas.
Yeah, and it's not that, it's like 10 minutes shorter than an Opeth record. It's up to you. We could do a double because
it's an important decision, brother.
Yeah.
I want to give you like the best chance of starting to like Cattle. For me, Anthropocene is what got me into them, because when I tried out for Into the Divine, we all went out to eat, and as we went, they started playing Manufactured Extinct, and just the guitar tone was beautiful, but Death Atlas is awesome. So, you know what? I think I'm only going to go for one for now. But
lame.
Fine, screw you. So I need to fine. Where's my name picker? We're here.
No,
I'm definitely no. We're doing double. We're doing double now. So I'm giving you Death Atlas for sure.
Okay.
But between Extinction, I think I have that right. But
remember, kids, bullying always gets you what you want.
All right, between Monolith and Extinction, I'm giving you Anthropocene Extinction. So their two most recent records, and
I think that would, especially with how you're talking about how each record gets a bit more palatable, that's probably the best bet, anyways.
Yeah, but that's not to say that Monolith is just a bit more on the grindier side. It still sounds amazing. The production is great, but with Anthropocene and Death Atlas, it adds a bit more melodic, a little bit more melodic stuff, because they really started leaning into it in Monolith.
Gotcha.
It started in Harvest Floor, but it's really rough in Harvest Floor.
Gotcha.
So,
all right, we're doing the double. We're doing the double. Now the question is, do you want to finish the Rivers of Nile record that was labeled as 2018's best record for metal?
Well, almost every Opeth thing that came up was labeled as the best Opeth record. So, like,
I mean, Still Life, Ghost Reveries, Blackwater, and even Watershed, though that one was less favorited by people, are all fantastic. And Deliverance and Damnation, which you have to listen to together.
I've listened to Damnation, but not Deliverance.
Yeah. Damnation's part 2 of Deliverance. They came out like 6 months from each other, and they were kind of meant to be together. There's even a part on Deliverance that's like a hidden track. It's like a backwards part of a Damnation song, and I think it's the same way on a Damnation for Deliverance.
Gotcha. Okay.
Could be wrong.
All right. Yeah, so, I'll just go for double Opeth.
Okay.
Since I'm giving you 2 cattle, might as well do double Opeth.
Since you did their newest and the one before their newest, we'll do Ghost Reveries is so good. To the random name picker.
This website's getting a lot of use from me.
I'm just Googling it. I don't know if it's the right one. Mini web tool? No. Okay, you know what? I'll give them
that is the one. That is the one.
Oh, hey! They are. Oh, and they even saved the one that I had them do last. How lovely. Okay.
You might have to turn off your thingamajig.
My thingamajig.
Can't talk. Can't talk. Ad block. It made me do ad block.
If I have to do it, I'll do it. Ghost Reveries. Still Life. All right, folks. The moment of truth. All right. They chose Ghost Reveries.
Okay. So Ghost Reveries and Blackwater Park by Opeth.
Now, is there a certain order that you want me listening to them, or just whatever I feel like?
You can do whatever you feel like, but if you want to go in album order, I mean, it'll show progression between the first record and next record, but you can't really go wrong either way.
Yeah, I'm saying the same thing about Opeth. Honestly, arguably, those two are constantly the Opeth records fought over of which one is the better one. They're definitely different, but they have that Opeth-y love.
Yeah, and when it comes to Cattle, everybody's like the last, like every album that's come out, people are like, oh man, it's even better than the last one. Of course, there are some people that are like, oh, Monolith is still the best, but yeah. I think they're riding on that forced gender wave, which Which I love the song. Here's the thing. I talked about we're gonna hit 3 hours. I talked about I talked about forced gender with my buddy Gage. We're both big Cattle fans, and I've not seen the music video, and I kind of refuse to watch the music video. He explained to me some of the things that happens in the music video, and it really just reaffirms that I don't want to watch it. I feel gross. I've seen some censored clips because it topped a Watch Mojo video of most controversial music videos, and it's rough. And it seems to be kind of rough. My thing is, I feel like if I watch that video, I will not be able to listen to the song anymore. And I don't want to do that because I like the song a lot. So that's my opinion on forced gender reassignment. But all
right.
Apparently,
we got our records.
Yes. Oh, and I was going to bring up very, very briefly because it came up earlier. You said you wanted to try to you said you wish you would have been able to forget like a game and play it yourself. There is this thing. I've tried it once, but I don't think it worked because the subject that I was trying to forget was too short and there wasn't enough to get me through the process. There's this thing called Unspoil Me by Samsung. And what it's meant to do is to hypnotize you and to help you try to forget a film or a TV show. That's what it's specified for. But I would be interested to see if it would work for a video game or music or something like that. I tried it. According to how I described it to my friend who also did it, who has been hypnotized before, it sounds like I went under. But it didn't work because we were trying to do like a 3-minute YouTube video, and the video is having you focus on something that's supposed to be multiple hours long or something. Something with meat to it.
Yeah, the one thing that is a problem about hypnosis, that's the word, is the like whether you believe in it or not, definitely matters. And the second part is, do you actually want to be hypnotized? That seems to be the two things in like studies about hypnotism. Because it's definitely something that you can like be put to sleep and then be in a cognitive state where suggestions can imply.
Yeah, I think hypnosis is real, but like they've done tests on the whole like, oh, if you're hypnotized and if you hear if they try to get you to do something you normally wouldn't do, it doesn't work. But like,
yeah, and again, it's like you have to believe in it and you have to be willing to be hypnotized.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. The Unspoil Me was just interesting, and I've wanted to do a video on it, but I just haven't had time to try it again. So it was, I don't know. That was just an interesting thing. Anyway, we hit 3 hours, and I hate myself. So
I love it. Woo!
Thank you guys for tuning in to Wahoo! Thank you guys for tuning into Distorted Entertainment. If you've listened to this, please go onto Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review. It helps out a lot. Share it with your friends. Please. You can catch us on Facebook.com/distentpod. That's DISTENTPOD. My name is Ethan Carpenter. You can follow me on Instagram at MFKRWill. Also, I do Twitch stuff. What's up?
How did you spell Distentpod?
Distentpod. DISTENTPOD. Yep.
Have I just never noticed that?
That's what I label. I mean, that's just what I labeled it as.
Oh my God. That is 100%. And I never noticed. Guys, I'm a professional. Do not worry.
To be fair, I've done almost all of the background stuff, so it's fine.
Hey, no, we do 50% of the work. Shut up.
No, we do not. No, you can follow me at MFCarWill on Instagram, Twitter at WASD Gamecom, and also Twitch at WASD_Gamecom. This goes up on Goodnight Productions. Sorry about the last episode being a little late. We had some audio issues. Should have that fixed now. And like I said at the top, go and listen to Indomitable's Phalanges Like Wilted Trees. It's a great track. Once we fix the stereo stuff, I'll put it at the end of this episode. And Yes, that is all of my shilling.
Mitchell, what is your shilling going to be? Well, that is great of you to ask, Ethan. You could find me at metalviolinist_ethereal solace on Instagram. And if you want to check out some of my violin stuff that I've done, well, you can just Google Mitchell G. Wade SoundCloud, and that should pop up everything that I have posted on SoundCloud. And that's about it for now until I get my ass off the ground and start doing music stuff again.
I know people that would probably be interested in working with you.
I'd be more than happy to do it, and I think it would probably be really good for me. I'm more than happy. If anyone wants to reach out...
You could always join my band.
No. If anyone's interested...
that hurts.
What would I do in your band?
I don't know. For the next release, Gage is wanting to do ambient, like, kind of sad black metal type stuff.
Bruh, you want a mandolinist or violinist in that thing? I will be happy to do it.
I mean, I was imagining violin.
If you want some theremin, I got you. Want a little bit of didgeridoo? I got you.
I don't want any didgeridoo.
Dude, do you know how sick didgeridoos?
Full stop. I do not want any didgeridoo.
I've done some really cool shit with didgeridoo, but fine. Yeah, no, if anyone, is needing a violinist, you can check out my SoundCloud. I wouldn't say it's my, best playing, but it's not bad. My improv in D is pretty rough, but that was because I didn't warm up and it was a little rusty. So yeah, if anyone wants a violinist, I'm happy to do it. I'll either not charge anything or charge very cheap. So yeah, be more than happy to do that.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Distorted Entertainment. Next episode is going to be a double. 2 Opeth records, 2 Cattle Decapitation records. My name is Ethan Carpenter. I am joined by Mitchell Wade, and we will see you guys in a couple of weeks.
On the next, yep. See you guys then. Bye.
Bye.